Welcome, everybody, to another episode of IncCast, recorded live here at Walker Design Studios, the official headquarters for Fanboys Incorporated. We have a busy week. Con season is here. We'll be talking a little bit more about that, about the cons that are coming up this weekend. Sitting across from me is Mr. Joe NUB, who's got that awesome, I'm stealing that shit, by the way.
What up?
And I'm gonna steal that.
Cool. The listeners don't know what you're talking about. We'll
That's
get to
okay.
that in a minute.
Yeah.
And you are DW.
Yes. Okay, let's get right into it.
Toy news,
Yeah,
so we don't forget it for the third week in a row.
Well, let's not get into the toy news because we have a special guest and we want to get him on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about me. He's like, look at my software shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck this guy.
Oh, my God. What
Fuck
you're...
this guest. I want to tell you about Luke and my dick sucking affair I had with him.
So rude, isn't he?
Who is that? Well, turn that mic off because we don't know who that is. Who's all right, well, you just introduced yourself. From Kevin Smith's Sitting at Work, and a good friend of ours, Mr. Brian Comic Head Feraldo. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, what's up, you motherfucking bitches? What are you saying?
Woo!
Oh, Jesus.
And a noog.
Now you can get to your motherfucking Star Wars, bitch.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
Now that we have his permission, now that we have his graces.
Okay,
That's
Just
terrific.
introduce me and you have my permission for toys.
You have my permission to die.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
All right, let's talk about the collector's case in the room, the elephant in the room. So, all right, fans, listen up. Pretty awesome day, pretty awesome week last week. After the show, I went down to Excellent Adventures in Boston Spa. I gave John Bell's Kiss a call, and he's the guy that puts on the Albany Comic Con, which is coming up this weekend. So we'll be getting into that a little bit later as well. So anyways, I called him up. He knows what a toy nerd I am, and I said, John, how you doing? It's Joe NUB from Fanboys Inc. Hey, incidentally, do you have any new toys? Anything that I should know about? And he said, man, that's funny you ask. I was gonna call you. You're reading my mind. It's crazy. It's weird. We should hang out sometime.
All right, get to the real stuff here. All
He's
right?
like,
I
I
don't need the whole
have
story here.
some vintage Star Wars stuff that just came into the store today. I'm thinking, like, wow, vintage Star Wars stuff. That could be really cool. That could be okay. I mean, a lot of people
Remortgage your house.
remortgage your house if necessary. A lot of people had Star Wars toys back in the day. So I mean, if you say that, oh, I just got new Star Wars toys into the shop, that could mean
90s.
no.
80s?
I mean, it could be really terrific because they're in great condition, or that could just mean like somebody brought them in, they were beat up, they found them in their garage, none of the pieces are there, so I didn't know. Plus, there are some later Star Wars figures from 1984, 1985 under the Power of the Force subline, which are some of the most expensive and some of the rarest figures to find. And so I was thinking in my head, I'm daydreaming, I'm like, my God, what if he had some of those down there? I have to get down to Excellent Adventures today. So I drive on down there, and I show up at the shop. And he did have some original vintage stuff. The first 21 or so action figures that came out, Luke, Chewbacca, not Lando, but Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, the whole gang is there. And I gotta say, man, they are in fantastic
Now,
condition.
are those all the toys? None of these are from your collection that you put in there.
Correct. This is all vintage stuff. I mean, we got Snaggletooth, we got Hammerhead, Greedo, Walrus.
Isn't this one of the rare ones that's a different color?
Nope, that is right now. DW is holding up Snaggletooth in the red jumpsuit, whereas you're thinking about Snaggletooth in the blue
That's right,
jumpsuit,
right,
which
the
was the
different color.
Sears exclusive.
Yes.
And that was very hard to find.
Do you have that one?
I do. I
Nice.
picked that up from Comic Depot a couple of free comic book days ago. Anyways, man, so I'm down at Excellent Adventures, down at John's place, and I'm looking at the Star Wars, and I'm like, wow, these are pretty awesome. I would love to have them, but really, I'm more interested in the later years stuff, the Power of the Force stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I drove all the way down here. I want to, throw John some business anyway. So I'm like, pick up a couple. I picked up a Luke and a Yoda, and I'm about to, I make my purchase, and I'm about to walk out the store, and I just kind of like look back in the box, and I'm just looking, and I'm just staring.
Calling your name.
I know, and I'm just thinking.
Get the rest, you asshole.
Exactly. You stupid idiot. What are you even
buy
thinking
two?
about?
You stupid bitch. Only two. This is your opportunity.
So suffice to say, I just said, God damn it, John, how much for everything in the box? So he quoted me a nice price. I walked out, and he had an original vintage collector's case as well, with the original cardboard insert. It shows where each figure goes. And now I'm just I'm just soaking wet over this whole thing.
No.
I was walking out making puddles the whole way home.
And it was raining too. Hey,
No, dry as a bone.
Yo, you're lucky you fucking bought the whole thing, because guaranteed if you started that walk down the street and then you were to come back and then say, listen, I want the whole thing, he's like, well, it's going to have to be minus Chewbacca because this little bitch just picked it up. You would have been pissed.
Exactly. I would have been like, you know what, screw it, I don't even bother with it anymore.
Now, the Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
The telescoping
lightsaber.
Now, is that one of the rarer ones?
No, what you're thinking of is the double telescoping lightsaber.
Okay, correct.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, it's true.
Duh.
That's the one.
No, what you were thinking about, basically, no, you stupid bitch.
That was the one.
That's Brian Comic Head Ferrado reading the subtext of my statements.
Anytime he's like, no, what you're thinking of is basically saying, let me tell you, you fucking dick.
You ignoramus.
Yeah, you don't know.
All right, go ahead.
The one that's rare was the one that was on Toy Hunter. I do remember that.
Yeah.
That one was the hard one.
And what we're talking about here, the 1978 Luke Skywalker action figure, you know, it's got the little lightsaber that's like built into his arm, and by pushing a little tab, you can make his lightsaber blade extend or extinguish. And there's like a real thin plastic piece that you're able to sort of pull it out. And I guess back in the day, there was like that thin plastic piece was almost double the size. Gotcha. And that's what they call a double telescoping lightsaber.
Now, with this card back, and we got this awesome card back, and it looks like in mint shape. There are stickers on the back, and there are some missing. What are these stickers for?
Those stickers are actually from the 1983 C-3PO collector's case, and
so they mix and match, huh?
Yeah.
I had the Darth Vader one.
I had the
Darth
hard
Vader
case.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome.
The 3D case there. Yeah, I had the. I used to have the Darth Vader. I used to have the C-3PO as well. But I never had this actual particular case. This is just a square,
really great shape,
vinyl box case with some great
it smells
Star Wars
awesome. It's
artwork.
Like old comic book smell. It's that old vinyl smell.
It's got old toy smell all over it.
We're gonna be sniffing all day now.
This is like somebody's basement smell.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, all in all, man, this collection is in phenomenal condition.
Yeah.
All the vinyl capes, there's not a single rip on it. I've inspected it thoroughly. The paint is pretty on spot for all these characters. Got motherfucking Boba Fett in there.
Boba Fett. He's in great shape.
Comic Head, did you ever play with Star Wars as a kid, man?
Nah, man, not one single fucking Star Wars toy at all, man. That wasn't me. I was a He-Man, a G.I. Joe, Transformers. Star Wars, I never got into.
Well, it's great having you on the show. Best of luck, and we'll see you later. No, that's cool, man. I
did Star Wars and G.I. Joe. I never really got into He-Man. But it was all, I mean, everything G.I. Joe. I had everything from G.I. Joe, Star Wars, the Millennium. I had it all. I don't know what I was thinking, because now it's all gone.
For me, it was Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Superpowers, He-Man.
Anything with articulation.
A little bit of Transformers. Yeah, man. Just anything for the 80s.
Couple blow-up dolls, you know.
Let's just sum it up by saying toys.
Toys. 80s toys. Enough said.
Oh, man. No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a great find. And
I'm gonna tell you, this is my motherfucking pick of the week. This is like my pick of the year right now.
Expensive pick of the week, dude.
It is.
That's an expensive pick.
But
now
I gotta say,
let's make it something attainable here.
All right, I'll just choose one.
Choose
get
one.
R5D4. Get the little obscure droid, but he'll cost you about $5-10 on the.
Before we get into before we get in with Comic Head and new comics and some of the cons that are coming up.
Well, don't we have other toy news to go over?
We do, but we're gonna do that later.
Oh, we're gonna do that.
Yes, we'll do that later. We'll do that later.
All right, you gotta
the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
That we have throughout here, like he was a bounty hunter too. Yes.
Of this case, Greedo and Boba Fett were the only bounty hunters.
Now the the walrus.
Walrus man, he's the guy that gets his arm cut off.
In the cantina.
Yeah.
Correct.
For giving Luke a hard time.
Is that a hard figure to find? I don't see a lot of him, or is he pretty?
No,
rare?
Honestly, yeah. These like the cantina characters, I don't know. I mean, they're not super hard to find, but they're still popular.
Right.
So depending on their condition. And they can command high dollars. I mean, they can go from like $3 to $5. They can go from like $5 to like $25.
Nice. Loose or obviously card? It's gonna be more expensive.
Yeah, like still on the card will cost you like $100.
We will get into toy news. Don't worry, Joe. I will take care of you this week.
Didn't you literally? Yes, just say we're going to start with toy news.
We did. This was toy news.
This was pretty big toy news.
This was pretty big toy news. You had to remortgage your house for this. Just as long as you don't sell Nola, you'll be okay. Don't sell her on the black market for anything like that.
No.
That's awesome. That's not leaving the studio, actually.
Yeah, right.
This is a Fanboys Incorporated purchase. It stays here in the studio.
Yeah, you all of a sudden own 50% of it now and shit.
Yeah. All right, there's 2 trays. I'll give you the top tray, and I'll keep the bottom tray.
Okay, that's cool. I'll take Leia. When we first started.
So another toy new.
Let me get one more, man. Let me get one more.
As I entered the show, I said that we have a busy week coming up. Actually, a busy 2 weeks. Our con season started with Asbury Park Comic Con a couple weeks ago. And this weekend, another production by Cliff Galbraith, Robert Bruce, and Dan Greenfield. The New York Comic Fest in White Plains, New York, June 14th. I am really pissed that I can't be there. I've never missed a Cliff Galbraith production. I'm really upset. The guests are amazing. I just work and deadlines and stuff going on. Day-to-day life got in the way. But, guys, if you are in New York White Plains area, go check it out. Tickets are $20 on the website, $25 for at the day of the show. You cannot beat these prices for the guests you're getting at this con on Saturday. Steranko, Snyder, Mark Waid, Denny O'Neil, Fred Hembeck, Mark McKenna, so many more. Comic Book Men will not be there. They are going to another con, I believe. They had a conflict of double booked, possibly. But if you want to be on Comic Book Men for season 4, they are having the casting crew there for you, so you can go and submit.
Maybe I'll submit this Star Wars collection and I'll get on the show.
Yeah, you're gonna resell it. You just got the motherfucking.
I know. Plus, if I sold it on the show, I'd be like, "Well, we'll give you $25 for it." Get the fuck
Walt
out
will squeeze you, man.
Yeah, Walt would.
And just because you're on the shit, you're gonna be like, "Huh? Yes, here you go, $12."
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
Yes, sold.
So you will be able to go down there, and I'm like, of all the cons I'm missing, it's like crap that I can't make this one. I really wanted to get to Snyder this time, as people know that I had to bounce on him in New York City twice, and that kind of that sucked. But go there, check it out if you can. June 14th, New York Comic Fest in White Plains at the Convention Center. There, check that out. $20 a ticket. Awesome time. Now, if you can't make it to White Plains, but you are living in the upstate New York area, or like to drive 4 hours, like our good friend Jason Moore.
Is he coming out?
Yeah, he's coming.
Is he coming?
Yeah, he drives 4 hours to come see us.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's a cool motherfucker to drive 4 hours.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy. I wouldn't drive 12 minutes to get to you, bitch.
What? Anyway.
No, Jason is awesome.
Jason's been to 3 of the
cool guy.
Yeah, he's come 3. He's come to he came to Depot Day, which was Comic Depot's version of Free Comic Book Day. He drove hours for that. Then he's gone to one of the toy shows, which you guys were at the last one this spring, and he was at last year's Comic-Con. So he's been with us almost every time we've been at a con.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
And he's awesome. Hangs with us for the day. We'll usually do breakfast in the morning before you guys get there, and chill out.
You guys will usually wake up in the morning and then to go and do breakfast.
Yes. And, after we snuggled all night.
You know exactly what he likes on his brace. Oh yeah, he'll take extra crispy. He likes it crispy.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Yeah.
Please, scrambled. But this weekend too. Again, con season's here. June 15th, we will be at the Albany Comic Con, 205 Wolf Road, Holiday Inn, Albany, New York. We will have our table there. We'll be podcasting live from the show. Plus, we have our second Creator Spotlight panel that I'll be monitoring with Joey Esposito, Ron Mars, and Mr. Mark McKenna will be there.
Big.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, it'll be a Q&A, guys. So when you go there, you have questions, anything you want to ask them, just pop into the panel. It's always a good time. We'll put a link up to last year's panel. I had a real good time with Fred Hembeck, Paul Harding, Grant Harding, and Todd DeZago. But the guest list here, again, awesome guest list here for this con. We got Ron Mars, Paul Harding, Joe Sinnott, Richard Clark, Todd DeZago, Joey Esposito, and this is cool, Hembeck and McKenna back-to-back doing the New York Comic Fest, bouncing and coming right to the Albany Comic Fest.
Yeah.
Or Comics
pretty awesome.
show. Yeah, that's real cool. Matt Dow-Smith and Nicole Jelinek and many more. The con's awesome. The vendors there are awesome. Of course, our good friends, the Comic Depot, just inside Saratoga Springs at 514 Broadway to meet all your fanboy needs. Will be there. Darren and the guys will be there. So you can't go wrong with any of these cons. There's a couple more, but these are the only 2 I really want to mention.
Right.
So there you go. Those are the 2 big ones you should go to. And you know what? And it's cool that Cliff's on Saturday. John's is on Sunday. There's no double day, double
right. It's
dipping.
not like the White Plains is running Saturday and Sunday.
Right. And Cliff has always been really cool with that. Going, I don't want to step on somebody else's toes, especially so close to the region. Granted, it's 3 hours away, but still, I consider that
close enough.
Right.
Yeah.
There's one in Long Island that's on Sunday, but whatever. We're not going to mention that. But it's really cool to see that some con promoters out there are concerned about other cons. Okay, I got to pick my date for this. I can do this. Well, this con's here. We don't want to step on their toes. Right. I think that's really cool. And it's got to be tough for them. As we know that as the geek renaissance is coming, cons are everywhere blown up. So it's got to be harder and harder every year for a con promoter going, what week am I putting it on? Because there is one now every weekend until October.
Yeah.
So,
that's ridiculous. Well, they're jumping on the comic book train that is running through everything right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants a piece of this fucking shit. All the bitches who hated it and were just kind of this is weak is now like this culture is everywhere. Like, comic book movies now are like even crazier overseas. So, I mean, it's no wonder people want to put a Comic-Con together. You probably make some nice ends.
And it's so cool too because our culture, our subculture, has seeped its way into the mainstream to the point where like I see like these like super like hot girls that I'm friends with on Facebook, and it's like
stalking. Actually, it's stalking on Facebook.
Isn't that what Facebook is for? But anyway, it's like them like decked out in like some like X-Men T-shirt, and I'm looking at them like, yeah, that's sweet.
I got a chance now.
You got a T-shirt with the classic X-Men #1 cover by Art Adams, and she's probably just thinking like, nah, I just got an X-Men shirt. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, nerd. But the point is, it's just cool because now it's like being a nerd is mainstream.
Yeah, it's definitely it's cool to be a nerd now.
Yeah, it's cool to like superheroes.
Get out.
Yeah, it's cool to like superheroes though, and that's a good thing.
Speaking of cons, Brian, once again, everybody, this is Brian for all the Comic Head. Go check him out on Facebook at facebook.com/Comic Head. Awesome reviews. He's also on Kevin Smith's Sit Network. Check out his weekly reviews. Man, you were at a con last week, yeah?
Yeah, man, I hit up Niagara Falls for their Comic-Con. It's about an hour and change away, so, all the comic book men, those cats were going to be there. Mike Del Mundo, who I'm a fan of. I decided to head on down and grab some shit and at least hang out for a day with comics. Like, it's something to go to that if you're a fan of this shit, you're just like, today's going to be fucking awesome regardless what happens,
No, how was the con overall? Did you have a good time? Yeah,
it was good. Niagara, being Niagara Falls, the con is actually pretty big, and they had enough people. I mean, if I'm able to go to a con and at least catch, right now, comic book men, for comic super nerds who like the show, they're bigger than what people even think. It's just that, when you look at the cats, you're like, how are these guys superstars, But comic book men and at the forefront of this culture, these guys are like right there. So,
right.
Just to see those cats is, what I want to do. Ernie Hudson was there. I'm a big Ghostbuster guy, so.
Hell yeah.
Seeing that guy was cool too. Killer Bees, Demolition. I'm an old school wrestling guy, so those were the tag teams that I really liked. As opposed, I don't watch any of the new shit nowadays, but Jumping Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair were fucking those were my guys.
Nice. Well, those
David Faustino was there. He was cool because I watch Married with Children.
Yeah, he was.
Like I said, I'm
an old Bud, right?
Guy when it comes to stuff, so he was fucking jokes. He's cool. And then they had Karen Parsons, who's Hillary Banks on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was like, I'm knocking out so many of these childhood. Well, not so much childhood, but I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
That girl was one of the hottest bitches I've ever seen on TV.
Who didn't? Is she still hot?
Yeah, she's still hot.
You fucking idiot. She's still hot.
Yeah, you stupid bitch. She's still dope. In the back where they had all the guests, when I was walking by, everyone was kind of like, okay, Dean Cain, oh yeah, Superman, okay, hey. And then I saw her and was like, wait a second.
Put on the brakes.
If she fucking sees me looking at her, she's gonna be like, who is this? Like, security? Because when I stopped and I looked at her, I was literally like, I was stoned. I had to like make it like creepy looking guy from far away.
Oh
just
no.
Hi, bitch.
Just trolling.
And all of a sudden the camera comes out, taking snapshots. Now they had some big celebrity guests there. Did you see that that con was more celebs than comics? Like, were there comic vendors? Were there comic artists?
Oh
there?
yeah. I mean, every Comic-Con you're gonna have your comic vendors, which is was at the forefront of the place, and then all the collectible places, toy places and shit, and then obviously people who are making films and stuff like that. But it was just one section in the back. It was like they had one entire back of the convention center, and it was just all celebrities in the back, and then all in the front area was everything else. But they had quite a few cats there, like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers guy, Tyler Mane, and Derek Mears. I'm a huge fan of the old school horror shit, so seeing them was kind of cool. But yeah, I think it's a good balance. I don't think there was it wasn't completely one-sided.
Nice. Now, you're up in Toronto. If people aren't aware, you're a Canadian, eh?
Yeah, man. That's what we're all about right now.
And now the Toronto Con has a pretty decent sized con as well, correct?
Yeah, they have. Well, hey, you know what? To be honest, it's good, but I think I got ruined the first time I stepped at the New York Comic Con because I was like, "This is a fucking con."
I think you said
that I've been to have just been, basically one gigantic convention center room, and was like, "Yo, this is big." I mean, when I went Niagara Con was big for Niagara Falls, so, it's a good, decent size. Toronto, obviously, a little bigger. Right. But then when we got to New York, I was like, okay, this is a comic.
I remember that when we were talking about that. If people aren't aware, Brian and I were at New York Comic-Con last year with the guys from Unit 5.
Is that when you threw up all over Comic Head's rental car?
No.
At the time?
Listen, that's old news.
Just checking.
It's old news.
That's still one of my favorites, guy. I know he tried his ass off to not park in front of me, but then he realized it's like, I'm about to throw up in my mouth. I don't think I'm going to be able to contain this shit. I got to let him know.
That's good.
But you were been drinking all day. Like, you were, early in the morning you were getting sloshed. So, I mean.
No, I was not. I was on the train. And
hey, DW.
At 1 o'clock.
We're not judging.
I know you're not.
We just want to get the story straight.
It was at 1. I think I got out the train at 1 o'clock, and then I called Brian. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing a shoot." I'm like, "All right, I'll hit you up at 5." All right, it's 5 o'clock. So I go to Caboose, the bar in Penn Station, and the girl. It's like, "Oh, it looks like you had a rough day." I'm like, "No, I'm good." And I'm like,
"No, I'm just naturally ugly."
Yeah. and so I'm like, "Make it."
This is my real face.
Drink some of my drinks. I'll look better.
I did not fall outside and hit a brick. This is me.
So when I'm at your place, I'm like, make it light. I'll have a few. And making it light there, I'm like, just light on the vodka. I got a long day. Making it light there means it's not a double and a half.
Yeah.
It's a double. So and I'm thirsty or whatever. I don't taste them. Bam. Have another. Bam. Have another. 5 o'clock. Brian's like, "Yeah, I got to do some more B-roll, man. Hey, that's okay. That's whatever." I'm like, "All right, cool." 8 o'clock comes around. I'm bamming. Midnight. He's like, "Yo, we're at this place across from Penn Station, Irish Times." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." I haven't gotten up in hours. And you know how it is. You're drinking. You're like, "Yeah, this is great." The minute you get up, you're like,
"Oh, yeah.
Whoa." I'm like,
"Yeah,
I'm cool. I walk out and I'm like, I'm drunk and I have no idea where this bar is. Thank God I look over and there it is, Irish Times. I'm like, cool. All right.
And then because I haven't had a drink, I was like, okay, we gotta go. So you were already,
you were already. So I'm like, all right.
Smashed. I want to get out the gates into getting smashed, and
so on the way over there, I'm like, maintain composure. You're meeting Brian, Comic Head for all for the first time. Maintain composure. I walk in, hey, what's going on? I sit down. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, fuck it, Red Bull and vodka. 3 more of those, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucked.
And you're just pawing at him the whole time. Is this your natural hair? It looks, man, you're so cool, man. We should totally hang out sometime.
I love you, man.
Man, I don't know.
But anyway, I didn't want to throw up in the rental car.
Well, it's very considerate.
I was really concerned.
And plus, I was cracking up. You made
taking Snapchat photos
too, man. Seeing that shit always kills me. I'm always trying to look out for my friends who are trying to escape to throw up, so I can be the only bitch that sees them and shit. And in this case, I didn't have to go nowhere. He's just like, "Yo, can you stop?"
Brian's Snapchatting me as I'm throwing up on the outside. The first thing that I was worried about opening up the door was, I'm going to face plant it right in that pile. I'm like, this is not going to go well. And then, hey, can we take a picture before you leave?
Like
Yeah, I probably would have taken a picture and then like slowly like drifted away and be like, here's this guy in his own barf.
Well, he's still talking to us today, so it went over well.
You must have done something right there, D-Dubs.
But the New York Con is so. New York Con's the biggest you've been to, so you don't have. There's nothing in Canada that's quite that big. Is that what you're pretty much saying?
Oh man, I mean, guy, you know, the Toronto Con, our fan expo and shit is supposed to be. There ain't gonna get any bigger in Canada, essentially. So that's why it's astonishing. It's just like your fucking Netflix. The Canadian Netflix has like 10% of what the Americans have on Netflix, and that's kind of what it was for the cons. It's like. It was a small scale, and then when I went to New York, I was like, holy shit, this is a con. And then I was like, I don't even know what San Diego would be like, which would be like going to Disney World.
Yeah, pretty much. From what I hear, it's gotten even worse in a way. It's just like, you remember when we were there last year, Brian, it was kind of like standing room only everywhere, you know, weaving in and out of traffic. San Diego is like triple the size, and it's that bad. It's still standing room only. It's really tough. And it's the exposure. It's the growth. I mean, your general public are now fanboys. And with the San Diego Con and more of the cons that are more the celebrity-driven, more media-driven, that's where the general public wants to go. That's where they're going. But we've seen it here at the Albany Con. I mean, even the small cons are getting bigger. I mean, and I enjoy a smaller con in a way because you can get in with the creators. You can go through the aisles. You can talk with them and not have to be worried like in New York City.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. New York City, we'll go because we have a few friends that are there. We'll go through Artist Alley and shoot the shit with them. But then to get like Scott Snyder's or anybody else, you're like, I really want to talk to you. Not just, hey, man, you're awesome. I love you. Talk to me. You just can't. You don't get that opportunity to do that. With the smaller cons, it's a little bit more intimate, and I think you can get in with the creators. And I think some creators might even like that. Instead of being hustled around and running and doing a lot of other stuff, but they can actually go there and talk with the fans.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yo, I was at the Niagara Con. Kevin Eastman was there, and he had a good sized lineup. And then when it died down, he just had this one super fan. He was wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles T-shirt. He had every single fucking comic book because, like, you know, Eastman is doing signatures and shit.
Here's my 400 comics.
Every single fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic in this crazy, insane-looking case. Yeah. Probably similar crazy like your fucking Star Wars shit that you have to the next. He had like original sketches that Kevin made a long time ago that he has.
No shit.
Like ridiculous. And he went there and he sat and he talked to the guy for like 45 minutes before the line then started to get bigger and shit like that, and he moved off to the side and he was putting all the comics back into its sleeves and shit. And I looked at him, I'm like, yo, you probably just came in your pants, eh? Because there's no way you could be this big of a fan and not like lose it where you actually are talking to the co-creator of that shit for about 45 minutes just by yourself, right? Like you could have asked that bitch anything. And he was like, yeah, he was drying his tears because he was like, geez, this was ridiculous.
Eastman probably didn't tell you, though, he's probably the same guy that hides outside his house in the bushes for weeks at a time.
He's blackmailing me to sign all this. I told him to come to the con, and that's when I would sign it. We could pretend that, you know, you're not sacrificing my kids for me.
But yeah, that's got to be that's got to be great validation to be that level of fan. You know, that's like, yeah, if I was able to like sit down with fucking, I don't know, yeah, like some of the Kenner designers from the Star Wars line or Hasbro from the G.I. Joe line.
That would be your go-to Kenner designer out of anybody there. It's a Kenner designer?
Yeah. Be like, tell me some of the greats. Give me some original wax prototypes of a 1978 Luke Skywalker with double telescoping lightsaber.
Thank you for joining us, Joe NUB. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, all right, out the door you go to the left. Are you kidding me?
Say, I bet you somehow, some way you were able to get one of those molds. Down the line, that would be one of the most expensive things ever.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, people have like some of those original prototype shit in their collections, and I mean, they go for thousands of dollars because, I mean, you think of it, it's like it's pretty much, there's only one of those, you know, like people have like parts of steel molds from the Chinese factories.
Now that would be cool.
You know, like, oh, this was used to make fucking Luke Skywalker's torso, you know what I mean? And they only were able to get that part of it, but still it's you know, on their display case, in their shelf, in their collection.
Is it safe to say the prototype Boba Fett is the most expensive one?
Possibly, probably.
We know it sold for 15,000.
Wow, why the fuck do you think that is? Is his popularity that massive that like over cats like Han Solo and shit like that? He's the most expensive.
The prototype was the one that launched the missile, correct?
Let me feel this one, DW.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah. In other words, shut up and let me say my shit. It's finally now it's toy talk again.
Thanks, CH. Anyways, man. All right, so back in 1978, there was a mail-in exclusive for Boba Fett action figure. This is after the Star Wars movie came out, and it was a huge fucking across the nation success, across the world success. And this is before Empire Strikes Back, where Boba Fett was originally introduced. Anyways, so mail-in exclusive for Boba Fett action figure with a rocket-firing backpack. And then in doing all their prototypes and their testing, they realized that the backpack, which would fire a missile, was going to be, it was too dangerous. Put somebody's eye out, little kid chokes on it, you can't do that. So when they sent the figure to the kids, they just sent them a regular Boba Fett action figure which has the rocket glued in the back with a little note saying, you know, unfortunately due to our design and we can't get it approved, you know, we just have this regular action figure for you. If you want, you know, send the thing back and we'll give you your money back. But a few of the prototypes for the rocket firing figure were floating around. You know, Kenner employees had them. They've made their way into collectors' hands over the years. So I think in all my, you know, all the history of doing all this shit for fucking 20, 30 years, I think there's like 5 in existence, something like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and a couple of them are owned by this guy, Steven Sansweet, who is pretty much like the #1 Star Wars collector in the world. I mean, he works for Lucas, and he has his own, like, he lives out in California, and he has his own motherfucking, like, a giant, like, I think it's like a converted barn that houses his entire collection. So that's why this rocket-firing Boba Fett is just so elusive and so rare. So it's not an actual figure, it's just the prototype. So that's why he'd be more popular than, say, like a Han Solo toy.
2 years ago on Toy Hunter, sold for $15K.
Yes.
What?
At a con.
Crazy.
The guy who he promotes MMA fighting, and he has a huge, extensive toy collection. And
wait a second, you're talking about UFC's like Dana White? No.
No, I don't remember. No, it's MMA. The guy who designs, is it the guy who designs Tap Out shirts? I'm not sure. I'll have to remember the exact name.
Oh, yeah, I forget. I know the two cats that you're thinking about.
And he bought the Boba Fett at New York City Comic Con 2 years ago for $15K.
Yeah,
wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I guess if you got loot, right? I mean, if you got money to burn and you're a fan of something, you want to pick up the best shit, right? You know.
Yep, definitely. I mean, you know, as far as me being a collector, yeah, not only do I love like the toys, but I also love just the random weird shit. Any like weird promotional material, you know, weird like just random shit, you know, because that sort of just enhances my collection, I feel.
Just
if someone wants to see an actual collection, you can be like, not only do I have like Star Wars figures, I have Star Wars underwear, I have Star Wars T-shirts, I got Star Wars cereal, I got Star Wars fucking condoms. Like you know, you just want to have a collection of everything they were involved in.
Yeah, you see this one, George Lucas just blasted off in this one right here.
Yeah, the underwear got signed and fucking his stuff.
Nasty shit. Now, Comic Head, what do you collect, man? Do you collect comic books? Do you collect toys? I mean, do you still actively collect this stuff?
Actively, the Marvel Select villains. If it's a villain, I gotta have it.
That's cool.
So that's how I curved it. Like, I was like, you know, I knew once you start collecting something, and you know, once that collection grows, your collection has to fucking grow. So I was like, okay, let me curve it and just get all the fucking villains and shit like that. So I grabbed that. Obviously, my comic book collection continues to grow every fucking Wednesday. I mean, it's just.
Word. How many long boxes you got in your collection?
Yeah. What's that?
How many long boxes you got in your collection?
Oh, well, it's funny, man. It's like
they're all on his wall. Haven't you seen the daily shits?
Yeah, right.
I posted a pic a while back when I was looking at some shit and trying to clean up my collection, and I have my shit actually in crates. And somebody was like, "Yeah, you don't have fucking long boxes," and I'm like, "No, I just kept them in crates because they're like easier to store and don't take up that much room if they're like just placed properly." So I have mine in fucking crates. So I mean, the collection. I don't know. I don't know. Probably about 1,000 or so. It's been a while since I've fucking counted shit.
What are you at now?
I think I'm like me.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it, man. I don't even want to think about what my
I got
collection.
5
is
long
back up to.
boxes, which is what, about 300?
No, I think there's probably like 300 to 350 per long box.
Okay.
So I'm probably my collection is probably like 2,000.
I got 5 of those, and there's probably 300 sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Well,
Yo, that's the one thing about getting collections too, and that's why I felt for Zapsik and Walton, those cats, when they lost their shit.
Oh yeah, dude, Sandy.
the
Yeah, Mike
hurricane.
lost his entire collection.
Oh, I don't even know what that would do to you at that moment. Like I would, like, yo, I don't know if you bitches know. I think I told you this before. I mean, I had a comic book collection. I went to camp, came back. My mom sold the shit,
What?
and then I stopped
Yeah.
yeah, man. She thought $100 was gonna be like this is gonna be the greatest thing ever when I give him $100 because I'm a Ute and I'm like $100 is like $1,000
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, don't get me wrong. Your mom, I'm sure she's a great lady, but what a bitch! Are you kidding me? She motherfucking sold your comic books.
I know.
Off the camera.
Do you
All right,
know-
so
do-
so
do you know what-
go on with the story.
So anyways, the new collection now, is sits around that number. But like I said, if I had been collecting similar to these cats, when you collect and you just have, you know, when you start hitting a few thousand and then beyond that, where now it's just an entire room
Yeah.
type of deal for your collection, and then having it wiped out.
Yeah, that's gotta
Yeah.
be crazy. Now,
Now,
do you know what was in your collection when your mom sold it?
I think it was comic books.
I don't
right?
remember a lot of them, but I do remember I had the Trial of Colossus, which I still want to pick up.
Oh, that's good. Classic Claremont, right?
Yeah, the first, I think it's 141 X-Men, the Days of Future Past. I
Very
had
cool.
one of the books, and I was looking for the other one,
Nice.
and now it's the total opposite. I had the one that I was missing, and now I need to grab the other one. So,
Typical.
Yeah, you got to grab the more expensive one.
yeah, man, because fuck, I had them. I
Yeah.
had them already.
Yeah.
had-
Now, I got to say, though, you know, hopefully the comic book guys had insurance, you know, in their collection on their house. But from one obscene collector, I mean, I can tell you, man, if a hurricane came and wiped out my collection, I think it would be, yeah, man, it would be,
It's
it would
not- it's
kill
not-
me. But I think at the same time, man, there's like a certain liberation to like getting rid of shit. Because, man, I got to tell you, like, I'm such a pack rat and I'm such a collector. Like, I'm constantly trying to.
Get rid of shit.
Well, that's it, you know, just because I'm so cluttered, like, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically kind of a thing. So I'm like, God, I'm always trying to,
Yeah, you do.
know, despite
you do
the fact.
eBay every other week, don't you?
Well,
Something
that's
like
it,
that?
you know, it's just like constantly, it's like this cycle, you know, despite the fact that I just picked up these fucking awesome Star Wars figures. There's
I
that,
know, you keep talking about it. I was like,
Yeah.
the disease that is fucking crippling you. And we begin the
seriously.
show with like, yo, man, check out my new part of the collection. 21 new fucking items.
You're like that old commercial back in the late '80s where the guy's in a box and he's like, I do cocaine so I can work more, so I can do more cocaine. You're
Right.
like, I buy toys so I can sell toys, so I can buy more toys.
I know. But I will say,
Upgrading them, right? You upgrade your shit and like, okay, I don't need this new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. I'm going to sell this, get that money, buy the
Yep.
original online.
Yep, exactly, man. But I proved to myself years ago that I had the ability to sort of like get rid of my most cherished possession, which was my G.I. Joe collection. It was fucking awesome, man. It was a cherry collection. It was 2009, right before the movie came out. I sold all the figures just because I'm like, I need to prove to myself, you know, that these
Why
toys.
did you choose? Why?
How many did you buy
The
back?
G.I. Joe collection? Who did you, like, did you have the Crimson Twins? Did you have Tomax and Zaymon?
Oh, no. I mean, man, you don't understand. I pretty much had nearly every figure from 1982 to 1985 with all the original packaging, original boxes, every accessory. I mean, I was that hardcore.
Your parents must have loved you because those were big boxes.
Yeah, right. No. I mean, this is, you know, in my adult years, I was like collecting all this shit, buying up the original boxes. You know
Have
what I
you
mean?
bought back the original? Have you ever bought back a toy that you sold?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the actual toy?
Oh, man, no, I doubt it.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what
Guaranteed.
I'm
Who
saying.
knows, man?
I sold it on eBay 4 months ago, and I'm buying it back now.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
exact
later,
same
yeah,
one.
because you know the expendable money that comes in at a time that you end up seeing it again, and you're just, whoa, this is a little cheaper. Let me buy it.
Yeah, but I think what DW is asking if I bought the exact
Same
one.
toy. Like he sold the
You know,
exact same
like
Luke
if I
Skywalker.
wrote my initials on the back, if I put
I see what
if I put a tracker on one of these and released it out into the wild, would I ever be able to find it again? You know, I think that's what he's asking. Doubtful, but
Oh
you
my
never
God.
know.
yeah, you almost should do that.
Yeah, we should
Put
do
my
that.
initial.
Now
like,
that
on
that
the-
should be a segment for the show.
There you go.
TV show. We should track your
There you go,
Luke
yeah.
Skywalker in the wild.
You know what? You can disassemble G.I. Joe guys. We'll put like a tiny little microchip tracker inside one of them next to the rubber bands, and then seal it back up, send them out in the wild, and see if I'm ever.
Everybody, we also are live tweeting. So if you have any questions for Comic Head, myself or Joe NUB, tweet us at FanboysInc.
Or if you have any questions for my Star Wars collection.
Jesus Christ! Shut up about the Star Wars collection. Jesus.
You'll answer the shit out of them.
There's
do you
a
need
question
a moment
for
of silence and go in the other room and play with your
There's
toys?
a question for Luke Skywalker. We're getting tweeted right now. Sean Murphy wonders.
No, actually, Sean's not around. He's in Atlanta right now.
Well, whatever.
He's with the Walking Dead bitches.
You know, Sean.
Someone asked me a question. Exodus 6:13.
Yeah, go for it.
Out of all the Marvel movies, do I prefer where they follow the comic storylines or they create new ones? I actually prefer them following the storylines that I've read. Right? Like, if there's one, I want to envision that. I want to see that as a live action, like Days of Future Past, or hopefully this X-Men Apocalypse is basically the Age of Apocalypse, because I can't why they wouldn't want to do something like that. It would be stupid, especially when they're introducing this fucking character. So yeah. I'm down with the comic storylines that are already given, because I want to see that shit.
But we don't. We have never seen an exact storyline from the books. They seem to pick and choose certain elements from each one.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I think they'll take sort of like the rough. The sort of overall, the general.
Like Days of Future Past is not the story. I mean,
yeah,
it's the general
it's
premise.
not the exact. It's not the exact same thing, but it's just the idea of
correct.
Like, hey, we're going to the future to tell all ourselves to fucking be friends so that we can defeat these fucking bitches that kick our ass later.
Yes, I'm excited for Age of Apocalypse. Or I want to see, if we talked about this a couple weeks ago, if they're going to give the alternate versions of Wolverine and Cyclops.
Right. I want the one-handed Wolverine.
I want
Cyclops with one eye.
I want to see
one
that.
Eye Cyclops. Oh, I want to see that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are we going to see Archangel as one of the Four Horsemen? We know the Four Horsemen are in it. So.
And I hope they put him in his purple and red costume.
Oh Jesus, really? Yeah, well,
Fuck yeah.
Marvel loves his purple.
Yeah.
So Brian, we haven't talked to you. You and I talk a lot during the weeks off pod and shooting the shit. But what's going on with you, man? What's going on? What are we getting reviews? We've seen some your daily shits. Yeah. What's going on with the life of Brian?
Over the last little bit, I've been essentially working on some shit to hopefully before the end of summer, I get to talk with Kevin Smith, and it'll be like a meet. So what I want to do is I want to put together some shit so I can be like, this is what I want to do. I want to come down here. I want to work with you bitches. Let's try and see if we can get something done. So recently I've been putting together a few things that just take a hell of a lot more time to put together. For example, there's this thing that I want to do called Inside Comics, which is basically me hanging out with someone in the industry, going to places that they like, and just talking about, them, their career, and some of the shit that we see when we're walking around. So I'm in the middle of cutting the first one with Mike Del Mundo, who's a Marvel cover artist. This guy's insane. I kid you not. As an artist, this guy, like I bought shit from him. I'm looking at right now 8 fucking pieces of art that I'm about to hang on the wall because he is that fucking dope. I was like, dude, I'm buying some work from you. Nope. I have to buy some of the shit that you have because he's fucking dope. So we go to his house, talk to him a little bit of how he gets started into Marvel and shit, and how he got linked into them. Basically his rise right now, because he was doing a lot of cover art for X-Men Legacy. He's done some Spider-Man Island stuff. He's done a couple X-Men titles, but X-Men Legacy, I don't know if you've ever seen these fucking covers with Legion on.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Oh my God, they're so amazing.
That guy.
He tears up Deadpool. He did the what is it? The illustrated covers.
Yes, those are awesome. Those are awesome. I have that collection.
I was just about to ask you who's the artist, but now that you're saying it, I know exactly the work you're talking about, man.
He's a cool guy, and he's into shit like me, so it was cool to talk to him because he's down with old school hip hop. He used to be a breaker. He was cool. We went and go grab some food, and we talked, went to Silver Snail. And what was dope is when we got there, when I did an interview portion, as soon as we were done, there had fucking bitches there with, Elektra books wanting to get it signed. So I was like, this is perfect, man.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
It's good for the show because, I don't know. I never ever thought I was going to buy an Elektra book. And this cat, because of his drawing, I'm more drawer than I am story, but the writing's got to be good. And Hayden's doing a great job. The story, I like it, man. The characters that they've introduced, they've immediately have given you a mindset that they are people who don't fuck around. Like, who is it? The Cape Crow is this cat in the book that, like, at one point, Sabretooth, Bullseye, Taskmaster, and forget the other cat's name, all attack him at once, and he kills all of them.
Sweet. I like that. Go ahead.
Kills Taskmaster and Sabretooth and...
Yeah, all 4 of them.
No
so
shit.
it shows you how deadly this guy is. So the storyline of Elektra chasing him down and herself falling into people like Lady Bullseye and some other fucking assassins and shit like that. It's a good read, man, and the artwork is fucking fantastic, man. So
very cool.
That first Inside Comics was with Del Mundo. On top of like Unit 5, I've been doing a comic book short with those bitches, and so at the end of the month, June actually 21st, I'm going to be shooting the end fight scene, which would mean the next couple weeks after that there'll be a finished product to then start to see if we can make some noise with it, and that's something I'm showing Kevin. So like I got to organize that. To just still trying to do Comic Kids, still trying to get these bitches that are doing my website to fucking, like, you know, get up off their fucking asses. And it's just a lot of work right now that you know, I haven't done a daily shit in a while, or a Comic Head in a little bit, but they're coming. I just need some time to put together some stuff to, you know, Kevin Smith is on the priority list right now, you know?
Very cool. That's awesome, man.
No, I know you and I talk a lot, so I know you got a lot going on. You know as well, we got a lot going on. So it's cool that if people haven't heard your interviews before on IncCast here, that we kind of are growing at the same time. We started, you had just started a little before us, and us meeting up. So it's kind of cool to see the steps of growth that we've done here and what you're doing over at Comic Head. And it's kind of cool just to see as we're evolving and getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the time goes on.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you know, we've talked, you know, a little off podding as well about, you know, collabing on some shit. So I mean, you obviously know of other work that I'm involved in that. Yep. You know, the idea is to put more stuff out there. It's just sometimes you take a step back to collect everything, put together some new shit, and then, you know, start promoting and getting back into it.
No, I agree. I think we got to get you out to cons, man. We got to get you in the States.
Come
I know.
Come to Glens Falls and hang out.
Well, we were planning on trying to do the New York Comic Fest and Albany Comic Con, and we're gonna have Brian down here with us, but he's got a wedding to go to next weekend. This weekend coming up. That's gay.
Yeah, this weekend coming up, I'm going to a wedding, which is always a good time, man. The Savior, Jan Shreve, my girlfriend, one of her close friends out there is getting married, so, you know, if I want a happy life, I need to have a happy wife/girlfriend, you know?
I hear you.
That's cool, man. Yeah, weddings are always fun.
We'll have you come down our way soon. You're going to be at the Comic Depot. We got some things.
Yeah, man, don't worry. We're going to do some shit together, man.
Oh, definitely.
This year is this summer especially too is going to be big. So the idea for me, like I said, is to come down there and then hopefully it's quicker flight so I can come out to you fucking bitches and say what's up.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
I said yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got some stuff in the background, guys, and we'll keep you up to date on some of the things that we have going on over here with partnering up with Mr. Brian Feraldo. Let's get into some quick news. Brian, you can always interject as you do with the news. Vincent D'Onofrio from Law and Order is the Kingpin for Netflix's Daredevil.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him, man.
Yeah,
I like him.
He's crazy.
I've heard mixed feelings. People are like he's awful, and then you either hear he's awful or I love that guy. So
you know what? I think in the comic industry, there's more trolls in this industry than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't matter who gets put into a casting role. Somebody is going to be out there and be like, this is the worst decision since Hitler fucking invading bitches. Because they lose their mind over the stupidest shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Fanboy rage. That's what it is. And it's funny.
Like that's the cool thing to do is like when something comes up, he's like, yo, don't be down with the casting. Don't be down with who's directing. You just hate. And it's like, what are you talking? You know, A, give the motherfucker a chance. And B, the guy does have some great credited villain roles that you know he's going to do a good job.
Yeah, agree. He was in Full Metal Jacket as well.
Well, he was also he was Edgar
in
Men in Black.
Brains.
Yeah, he killed the sergeant and then blew his brains out.
That's right.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I always felt bad for his character too. Like when they beat him with the soap the bars of soap and the socks,
yeah.
man. Oh man, it's just like you really feel for this guy.
Well,
and you could say that was the trigger point where it was like, okay, I really need to step in line here because, this is a weird culture that I'm a part of, and he just couldn't handle it, and then he went down the road of insanity, and then fucking killed the bitch and killed himself.
Yeah, but he was in Men in Black too. He was Edgar. He was the main bad guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Law and Order for years.
Law and Order, yeah. And he always played a little bit quirky. He was a quirky character. So I mean, I think you shave this guy's head. You give him the right look.
There's pictures already with him shaved with a goatee, just regular shots throughout, whatever, doing for his career. The biggest thing, and as Brian was saying, everybody's hate, because he's not as big in the comics. Shut the hell up. I mean, granted, Michael, what was his name?
Clark Duncan.
Clark Duncan was huge, obviously, really imposing. I thought that was a really cool choice.
Yeah.
Don't care for, it didn't matter to me skin color. Like a lot of people were really upset. Well, he's a white character. Who cares? This one seems maybe they're going, instead of physically imposing, he's going to be diabolical, very intelligent, maybe scheming-wise, instead of just being so physically imposing.
Right.
Well, if I think that's a cool way to go about it, but also there's room for the development to get to that stage too.
Agreed.
To see that grow.
What do you mean to see that grow? You mean to see him physically grow, like get him on a weight training regimen, or?
No. I
mean like the emotional growth.
Yeah, his emotional growth to becoming, the kingpin that doesn't really need to pick somebody up and throw them out the window, but he'll get it done in a different type of way,
Although I have to say one of my favorite characteristics of the character, the Kingpin in the comic books, was always. People always just assume he was just some giant fat slob, and then they would start fighting him. And they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's made of brick. I just punched him, and I broke my hand." And always have ninjas attacking him. He's always training with ninjas or thugs. And then he just beats the shit out of everybody. So I mean, I will say
he's an imposing motherfucker in the comics.
Yeah,
for sure.
There could be something lost, but I mean, hopefully Vincent, what's his last name? Danoff or
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
Hopefully he does a good job.
Vincent D. That's how we'll call him.
Vincent D. Vic D.
Now I'm wondering, for the storyline, the basis of this, he is a little younger. I'm wondering if they're gonna kind of carry him along with Daredevil, as we know that it's going to be Charlie Cox. He's younger, so I wonder if and what Brian is saying is grow with the character. I mean, it is 13 episodes, but maybe we'll see through history as he's building his empire. Daredevil is starting to become Daredevil, and they kind of grow together, kind of like the Batman and the Joker.
Right.
They're
both
two sides of the same coin.
Right.
And you see Kingpin elevating his crime empire as Daredevil is learning. Getting his powers, learning to deal with them, and he's growing as well. I think that might kind of be neat. I don't know if that's the premise.
You know what I want them to do, which would be fucking dope, is at one point during the season have an episode where you just fucking name drop, or something happens where you kind of are knowing this is actually what Daredevil has been doing the whole time. We've seen the cinematic universe of the Avengers being united, and then the current one we're being given right now. Because I think that would be fucking cool, because that's what he's been doing up until the point where, they're now involving him in the cinematic universe. Because that would be fucking dope.
Yeah, I kind of like what they do with S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s like the in-between the movies segments for the big screen, what's going on behind the scenes kind of deal. I like that idea.
Filling in the gaps.
Filling in the gaps, exactly. I like that. I mean, you got Luke Cage, you got Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. That would be a perfect way to tie it all in. I mean, it's like the web series, like I've always mentioned before. You had Heroes, which I loved, and each week you have an episode, but there's like 2 or 3 web series between each week, so that it filled in the gaps.
Right.
So these are kind of like a web series or a digital comic per se, and now on Netflix. I'm happy for it. I don't, when we first started this, just about 2 years ago, the big thing was, fanboy rage, and I kind of had it in a point where I would be like, oh no, that character's not good. But as doing this and getting deeper into the biz, I'm pretty more open-minded now. I'm like, yeah, I'd be maybe a year ago, I'll be like, Kingpin, oh, come on, he's huge, this isn't going to work. But now, seeing some of the characters that I didn't, or the actors that I didn't think were going to do well, knock it out of the park.
Right.
Well,
So
I think
now
that's
I'm
what's
just-
happened now in the films is that you're starting to see more of the characters that you're kind of like, oh, I don't fucking like this. When they perform well, you're like, okay, you know what? The next time something stupid comes up, you should be like, okay, I'm gonna just sit back and wait for this to come out and then judge, as opposed to right away being like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the funny thing is, Bri, it's like those people that complain the most are the first in line.
Yeah,
Seriously.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's for them. It's a comic book
People
movie.
are still complaining about Batfleck, and I'm like, you're going to be in line first. I guarantee you're going to be first in line to see it.
Right.
And if anything, to say, well, I told you so. So what? You bought a ticket, didn't you? So guess what? We all won. It doesn't matter. So yeah, Netflix, Marvel's doing a great job. For you video gamers out there, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sony is putting Sonic on the big screen.
No kidding.
Yes.
You know what would be a great video game movie?
What?
Zelda.
Ooh.
That'd be a
Yeah,
great
I would want to see Zelda like looking like a Game of Thrones type of
Yeah.
I would watch the living shit out of that. You know what else would be a great motherfucking good movie? Castlevania. Man, you could do really some good horror.
Didn't Castlevania also was a board game? It was an RPG game, wasn't it? Like Dungeons and Dragons, I believe.
I don't remember that. I mean, I
Yeah.
just remember
Because I remember getting the books.
Simon
Remember
Belmont.
the player books? You remember the character books? If
Yeah.
you ever played D&D, Castlevania had
Are you
those.
sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Are you DW sure or are you
I'm
Joe
Joe
NUB
NUB
sure?
sure. I'm
You're
Joe
Joe
NUB
NUB sure?
Google
Well,
it.
that sounds pretty sure.
Yeah, it is
does.
goddamn sure.
It does.
And if I'm right, I'm taking that Star Wars package
Pass.
home. Yeah, why? What's the matter? You're not Joe NUB sure?
Hey, Comic Head, you got access to Google right now. Google Castlevania role-playing
Shut up.
game. We'll see
Shut
if
up.
DW's right or not. But Sonic the Hedgehog on
yeah.
the big screen, huh?
Yeah, big screen.
How about that?
No projected date yet. Another thing too, with the E3 announcements. Obviously, it was video game week last week with the big announcements.
Star Wars Battlefront. Did you
Yes.
see that trailer?
No, I have not.
That looked
Was it
fucking intense.
So we're getting another Star Wars video game.
Yeah.
Now, didn't their video game LucasArts, didn't that collapse for a while, or did Disney
think
buy
so.
that,
I
or
think
did
they,
it collapse?
I think they dissolved it.
Okay. Because it was Unleash the Force 2 was the last Star Wars video game,
Yeah.
and they said they weren't going to do anymore. And I do know, and I'm Joe NUB sure on this, that Star Wars Unleashed 3 was in production right before 6 or 7 months before talks were made with Disney.
Right.
When Disney bought it, they dissolved it, and I wonder why. Because I know that was one of their better selling games.
Yeah. Yeah, there was another game that was slated for release. It was called like Star Wars 1313 or some shit like
Yeah.
that, and it dealt with like the underbelly of the Star Wars world, like your
the bounty hunters and the scum.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and
Cantina characters. That'd be cool.
yeah, like people were so stoked for this game, and like the
Star Wars
seedier
version of
side,
Marvel Knights.
like dirtier than that.
Nice.
And then that game got nixed. So
No
who
kidding.
knows?
So this would be cool to see them coming back again.
Yeah.
Now, will this be a PC or a console?
I
Probably
don't
a
know. I
console.
don't know much about the gaming industry and shit like
Okay.
that. But yeah, I think it's Star Wars Galaxy. What the hell's the name of the game? I can't remember, man.
Battlefront.
But Battlefront. I think it was like Battlefront 3.
I've played Battlefront and I enjoyed that.
I want to say like in the short little trailer they showed from E3, you know, they're talking to the designers, who I think were like Swedish or Norwegian,
Oh really?
and then they're talking how they would actually make the trips around the world. You know, they went to Tunisia, to the deserts. They went to
nice.
you know the Redwood Forest in California to film these locations and to not only capture the physical essence of the Star Wars landscape, but to also capture the emotional essence
Oh nice.
as well.
Very cool.
And then they show the actual gameplay and the shots that they created so far, and it just looks fucking tense. Like, I don't play video games, I haven't
Right.
played them in years, but whenever I see like a sick ass fucking game that allows me to immerse myself
Right.
in my nerd world, like I think about going out and buying a console just to play these games.
All I can imagine
Yo,
is you.
the new games at E3 that came out this weekend, the trailers and some of the gameplay and some of the new shit that is coming out. Like, games are now, they've always been good, but with the newer consoles over the last few years, especially
Nuts.
the PS4 and Xbox One that just came out, the graphics and everything look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
now.
Amazing.
I mean, it's
amazing.
like every time it gets more realistic. It's like so
And
much
the games
closer
become
to real
more
life.
movies. More
Yeah.
movies, and I love that
Right.
in between gameplay movie or extra scenes that you see, like Injustice. I still love Injustice and I still play it. But like what is it, Batman Arkham? The new one's coming out.
Oh my god, dude! The one. Holy shit!
Yes.
I watched the 5, and there isn't too many times like if I'm watching gameplay online or some type of trailer and it's 2 minutes, whatever. But that one was like about 5 minutes, and when it was finished, I was pissed that I couldn't watch anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit looks insane.
Now, how come we can't? Now, maybe I'm wondering if are we gonna get like? I'd love a straight to DVD movie based off the artwork off these games. Like put in a full movie, a full hour movie or whatever,
Final
straight to
Fantasy
DVD,
movies,
something like that. But with the graphics from the video game.
Right. Yeah, you want like a Batman arc.
I think the longest game Brian and I ever watched was at New York City Comic Con when this one bitch was beating up this other bitch. I mean, how long did we sit there?
Oh fuck yeah! It was one of those with like League of Legends or some shit like that.
2 huge monitors and they're battling each other. People are going nuts. Brian and I are sitting there going, "What the hell?
What is going on?"
There's people with big cards going, "You rock, you're on." I'm like, where are we?
Like the jokes was like you can in the game. I guess there's like these big moves that you can pull off with all the people that you control and shit
it's
like that.
Like a World of Warcraft game.
Yeah, so while the guy is fighting and shit, you almost could hear bitches in the background talking about some of the stuff that he's doing and what potentially is going to happen.
Yeah, play by play.
So when the end came, people had already knew it was over. Like it was like, he would send in some new tanks or whatever the fuck it was, and people were like, ooh, ooh. And then they would fucking lose their mind after it says that the game is over.
It was like a soccer crowd. It was like a crowd at soccer. Everybody's and people are screaming, yelling. I'm like, what is going on?
Everybody has a beer in their hand.
Yeah, everybody's got a beer in their hand.
The motherfucking beer from?
It was the World Cup of fucking League of Legends video game.
That's crazy. And the 2 gamers were probably actual like world famous gamers. You guys just didn't know. Everybody's like,
oh yeah, and they each weighed like 98 pounds.
And they were drinking Monster like there was no tomorrow. I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, holy
being
shit.
weighed down by that can and shit.
So yeah, Sonic coming out. In other news, because of E3, it looks like PlayStation Network is getting into the original programming game like Hulu and Netflix.
Huh.
Bendis's Powers comic book is going to the PS4 or PSN and PlayStation 4 network.
Wow.
So
is it going to be like a live-action show or an animated?
I believe
computer animated.
I believe it's animated. I'm not 100% sure. We did an article on it over on FanboysInc.com for the announcements. So original comic books are now going into the PS Network system. I'm wondering if they realize now, Sony realizes now, hey, Netflix is doing it. Hulu's got. They don't have comic book related original content, but Hulu's got original content. Let's get in the game. Let's get in it now. If you have if you're subscribed to the network, you get all the episodes for free. If you don't, you at least get the first one for free, and then you pay like a $2.99. Like I'll rent a movie. Like I got Son of Batman off the PS Network. It was $3. You can buy it for $14, or wait 3 weeks, and then you can buy it for $3.99, or rent it for $3.99, and that's what I'll do. HD quality, it's good stuff. So it's awesome to see that they're doing that. I know some people are like, well, if I don't have the PS Network, I'm not going to get it. Well, in a way, that's kind of the point. It's marketing, to get people to buy the gaming consoles. I'm sure maybe after a year of release, there might be a straight to DVD, some type of thing like. I'm sure they will do that.
Right.
But it's just like that buy it now button. You don't want to wait for the price. Maybe it'd be cheaper, but you got to have it now.
Yeah,
that's how it's going to be.
Impulse purchase.
I think that's going to be awesome. Seeing more original content coming out, comic book content coming out, is amazing. I think even without the big 2, with minus DC and Marvel, Image titles, any of the independent stuff, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's look at Mark Millar's stuff's coming out.
It's funny. Marvel and DC, being the giants that they are to get all the TV, it's funny that like. If Image Comics, if a few show comes, if you think about it, the most successful show, one of the more successful shows is an Image comic. Like Walking Dead is plowing people's faces off, and there's a lot of people who don't like the show, but I mean the majority, and where the motherfuckers are like counting their dollar bills. They're like, oh, I don't care about that fat bitch who eats nothing but Cheetos and sits in his basement and is pissed off about a certain comic book reference. Fuck that guy, because they're getting paid because the show is so successful.
Big time. And I think you're going to see other companies, you are seeing other companies realize this and marketing it. I think it's huge. More TV news, too. If you saw the new extended trailer for NBC's Constantine, Hellblazer, we see the helmet that we all know what it means.
Dr.
Fate, one of my closet faves. I've always loved him. This is pretty cool. This is going to be, I think, another success. You had Smallville, you have Arrow. Constantine now pulling some of these characters is going to be huge. I mean, will we see Swamp Thing? I don't know. Will we see Justice League Dark characters? I don't know. Could we see this as a soft launch for Dr. Fate? Could this be the Supernatural Fridays on NBC with Constantine and then you got Dr. Fate? I don't know, but it's pretty cool to see that kind of expanding of the universes.
Yep.
And it's awful funny that it's right around the same time that we had announcements for Doctor Strange. Very weird how DC and Marvel. Now, is there like
they do that shit all the time?
They do.
They have to, man. They have to. What is it? X-Men Futures Past comes out, and like on the day is tweeted a Batflick picture or the Batmobile or some shit like that. It's like they do it on purpose.
Yep.
To see two mystical characters coming out around the same time. Obviously, one's on the small screen, one's in development for the big screen. It's almost like it can't be coincidence. Like somebody called somebody. You got Joe over here at Marvel going, "Psst, hey Bob, guess what we got?"
They got the vibes
and Bob's like, "Psst, guess what, bitch? Guess what we got?" And then you have Dr. Fate and you announce it. I think it's great, and it shows that they're competing. Obviously, we know DC's really lost the ball when it comes to the big screen. Let's hope that this Batman versus Superman does well.
You know when they say how they've when they go they've lost, like when you say they've lost the ball, yeah, they haven't put out as much DC movies. I mean, Warner Brothers does a shit ton of other movies that they need to get through. It's about them realizing we need to focus more on these fucking properties, and I think they're gonna start to do it. But like, you know, regardless of what happens, I don't know anybody who's not gonna see like Batman versus Superman.
I agree with
that. And this is
between that and Cap 3, if they say both of those movies come out at the same time, it's weird. It's like I'm more Marvel than I'm a DC, but I so badly want to see what this Batman versus Superman movie is gonna look like. Like I'm fucking hella excited. And in most of what people say about the Man of Steel, I was fucking entertained when they decimated Metropolis. So I know they're going to have that type of level of action potentially because Superman is in this film. So, I mean, I know they dropped the ball, but, you know, they're kicking ass too on the TV side of things too.
Oh, yeah. As DW likes to always brings up, yeah, they definitely are trumping Marvel in a big fucking way on the small screen. But, CH, you bring up an interesting point, man, about Cap 3, Superman, Batman. Because with as good as Captain America 2 was, you know, depending on which direction they go with Cap 3, man, that might be a tough call. Like, say they're released on the same night. I only have enough money to go and see one movie because I spent all my other money on Star Wars action figures. Which movie do I go and see? Man, that's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, I would. You know, it's hard to argue with that, except it's fucking Batman. You know, like it's Batman versus fucking Superman. I don't know. Fuck.
Are you?
I'm dying to fucking see that. Like maybe it's because I'm thinking of Dark Knight Returns and I want to fucking see somewhat.
But I think everybody's thinking that, Brian. Though that just from the title, I mean, it's a Dawn of Justice is the extended title. But I think I gotta say I'm gonna give it to Batman Superman just for the fact of seeing those two characters on the screen.
Right.
Beat out Marvel, at least for opening day. I don't know if it'll last the weekend or the weeks to come, but opening day, I'm giving it to DC. Just for the fact, it could be a shitty movie, but just the fact of seeing these two characters on the screen for the first time, that's going to get my $10 first.
Fair enough. All right, then I will conversely, just to show mine, because I am a Marvel zombie, and I'll go Cap. You know, and this is sight unseen of any trailers or really anything. I'll go see Cap 3 first.
Okay.
That's what they should fucking do. They should do a Marvel zombie like.
Oh, that would be so.
That'd be fucking.
Just these webisodes, you know. That's just something you like. Every week there's a new 5-minute thing of a character either turning into a zombie or just one trying to live in this society where all the characters are zombies. That would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Me, who is so anti-zombie, I sat at Borders.
No, anti or scared?
Yeah, me who's so zombie pussified.
Why do you actually think they're real or some shit? Like you're scared zombies are gonna exist, and you know you.
Here's the thing, like with gore movies,
you're
like
be a real pussy and not be able to like last very long. Like you're the guy that's like, I need to be part of a crew and just be the gardener.
Somebody protect me. Somebody protect me. No, man, like
me. I plant. I know how to put seeds in the ground and make them grow. Kill the zombie for me, please.
I'm useful, I tell you.
Yeah,
I'll suck you up. I'll do anything you want.
Oh my God, I'm so good at nailing stuff to things.
No, man, like
that's what I said to her.
I hate gore because, like, first off, like all that shit, like, I don't know, man. Like, I got such a twisted mind that all that stuff just gets stuck in my mind's eye. So when I close my eyes at night, like, that's all I'm seeing again and again and again.
Oh, so you're basically you're saying you're
basically I'm a psychopath, and I'm just afraid I'll start murdering people. No, but seriously. And then, like, when you get into the actual construction of, like, all the makeup and stuff like that, like, obviously, you know, you're looking at somebody,
like the goo,
and their eyeballs are hanging out of their face, and there's blood everywhere, and then, you know, like, I've had friends that work in the special effects industry, and then, you know, and I'll say the same thing to them, and they're like, oh, no, it's totally cool, like, it's oatmeal that we put, you know, food coloring into, and egg whites, and then this and that, and we left it in the sun for 8 hours, and I'm like, yeah. That's the reason why I don't like it. That's disgusting. That makes me want to fucking throw up. That's garbage. Throw that out.
Wow, you're such a sensitive guy.
I'm a very sensitive.
Wow.
I'm an artist. What can I say?
Well, so am I, but I'm not that sensitive.
You're a pussy.
I'm not a pussy because I like zombies.
No, because you're afraid of your feelings.
I'll show you my feelings after the pod.
Yeah, but he'll last longer.
2 inches of feelings. Ooh. What's that, Comic Head?
I was like, yo, he'll last longer, though, in the zombie apocalypse.
He will. Well,
you'd be the one calling him, like, yo, dude, remember I plant shit?
Remember I fed you that tomato last week?
That's right.
Yo, don't you remember those Egg McMuffins I made you? Come on, man.
But I have to say, Marvel's Zombies would be great on the big. I would watch that, man. And I remember sitting at Borders Books, reading the first fucking graphic novel there one night, and it was good, man.
Really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
And that was Kirkman too, right? Fucking creator of Walking Dead.
Yes.
He wrote that shit.
You know what? You'll get there eventually. Comic book movies are never gonna stop.
I know.
No, they're definitely not. Not anytime soon. They will
stop. It'll eventually slow down and shit, but like it never stops. Fucking never.
Honestly, and that's what like it's because movie special effects, like unless those all of a sudden stop and everybody forgets how to make a movie special effect, we're never gonna stop seeing superhero movie genres.
Yeah, when the zombie apocalypse comes, everyone needs to fucking take care of the guys who do the CGI.
Truth.
I'll hang out in the theaters.
Anybody the CGI out there, give me a shout. I'll help protect you.
Anybody's good at planting seeds.
Yeah, planting seeds.
Nice knowing you.
I need somebody who can plant some seeds.
You worthless zombie fodder.
We'll throw you in. Speaking of Cap, you mentioned it is now the highest-grossing movie for 2014. It just snuck out. It just beat the Lego Movie.
Oh, okay.
709 mil.
No shit.
So yeah, amazing.
And that's worldwide, right?
That's worldwide.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fucking awesome.
I've said it before, man. I think that's the best comic book movie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Marvel comic book movie for sure. You can always go back and forth with a few other films that are out there, but that was such a great movie. The storyline was dope. The action was great. Captain Sucker Punch looked like a fucking deadly assassin. His shit off the boat was insane.
True. Oh my God, the shield slinging still was amazing.
Shit. Hey, all those sucker punches right at the fucking beginning.
Awesome.
I was just smiling. I was like, yeah, look at that, man. Guy not watching you back of the head, obviously, with a vibranium shield. Like that guy has a family to feed, and he just took a vibranium shield to the back of the head.
Well, he should have thought of that before he took onto the bad. He went onto the bad guy side. Yeah,
henchman arbitrarily planting seeds gets cracked in the back of the skull.
Yeah, he was actually being the nice guy to take the place while the other real security guy went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just hold this gun here. Nope, vibranium shield.
Yeah.
Finished.
I knew I should have changed temp agencies. Why did I get this job?
Bullshit.
No, that was pretty cool to see that Captain America's finally, and it beat out obviously Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 just isn't holding its weight. Sony's we'll see. We've heard rumblings that Marvel's trying to take it back. We've heard even Sony saying that they would possibly give them the rights to make a cameo for Spider-Man in Avengers 2 or Avengers 3 possibly.
Oh my God, dude! Are you that would be
huge. Wow. That would be huge.
Yeah. Imagine what that trailer would be like if they were able to keep, I don't know, I was probably fucking really hard, but even if people were involved with the knowing that Spider-Man was going to be in Avengers 3, that trailer when you first, the fade up where you first see his face or something like that, and he helps, who knows, Iron Man in a fight and he cracks some joke.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That'd be fucking awesome.
So we'll see. I mean, those are rumors, not even superior speculations, guys, but this is what we've heard. We've also, like we said, the FF and the X-Men having problems with Marvel and Fox, pulling toys, pulling POS.
Yo, that's fucking Marvel are a bunch of fucking gangsters, yo. For them to fucking say, like, we are one of our own
they don't own it.
And stuff like that. One of the shit that we produce, someone else has it, and now they're so fucking cutthroat. They're gonna be like, well, we're gonna kill them off basically in the comics and not do that shit anymore. But when your movie passes and it hits fucking the TV store or the stores and shit like that, we'll bring back the book. Cause like, what assholes? But I understand.
But yeah, that's a little bit.
That's a bitch.
Well, that's a little bit of I'm gonna take my ball and bat and go home. Like if I can't play with it, then no one can.
But honestly, I don't think Fox really cares. The comics being pulled off the shelf aren't going to affect that movie. The sales of that book have been mediocre at best.
Right. And again, it's not like they're canceling the X-Men book sales because obviously those sales are so good on their own. But they just aren't putting toys on the shelves movie related. Now, we've talked about this. It could be on Sideshow. Sideshow Toys could do statues, but you'll never see Hasbro or whoever doing 3 3/4 movie versions or whatever.
Yeah, man. But if you can get a Sideshow, you can't buy multiples of those things. You buy one because they're like $300.
Exactly. So, and we do know Marvel pulled out their POS from the studios. Jarvis confirmed that FF and X-Men stuff, movie related, or even the comic books as far as FF are concerned, have been pulled out of the New York City studio.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean,
that's crazy. Yo, so do you think, the new shit that's going on right now, Wolverine's 3 months to die shit, do you think, by the end of this storyline, they're going to, he'll be dead for a while?
I don't think so. There's too much money to be made.
He's too much of a cash cow.
I mean, let me rephrase that, Brian. How long do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess your big money-making fucking cats they can't really get rid of.
How long? Well, what's a while? Is it a month? Is it 6 months? I mean, Peter Parker died for almost a year.
Over a year, yeah.
Over a year.
But and that begs the question.
Yeah, but you still had a Spider-Man, right?
Correct. You did.
It was still there was Spider-Man, but
Spider-Puss,
But that also begs the question that so Marvel has announced that they're going to cancel the FF books so as to not promote any FF movie being made by not them. But it seems so paltry. It seems so petty because it's like, all right, if you kept the comic book going, like how much popularity do you think you're going to generate? Like how many random people, like how many of the casual comic book moviegoer are really buying that book and like, oh, now I got to go see the movie.
I don't think dropping the book is going to affect that movie whatsoever.
Exactly.
I don't know. And it's speculation. It's been very almost not confirmed, but pretty damn close. But at the same time, couldn't it just be Marvel saying this book's not selling? Let's pull it for a while,
right? And
keep the hype up. And it has really nothing to do with Fox,
right? That could be it too, because I mean,
it's business.
I think the article I read says the FF is still going to be around in the Marvel universe. There's just not going to be there's not going to be a book.
The thing that contradicts that.
Is that a joke? Are you being funny?
What?
The Thing?
Yes.
DW, this is a serious podcast. We don't have time for this right now.
Shut the hell up. Is the fact that on sketch cards for the 75th anniversary, they're pulling Fantastic Four and characters on it.
You mentioned that last week.
So it's
now
really,
that sucks.
See, but that makes you want to know what's really going on.
That's where it gets petty.
Why would you do that?
Like, is there going to be X-Men characters?
Yes, but this is the first family.
Yeah.
And the characters, Galactus is awesome. I mean, the Skrulls,
Doctor
Doom.
I mean, these are some of like the biggest Marvel, most recognizable Marvel characters.
So it begs to question what that really hell is going on. And with that announcement, Brian, what do you think of Edgar Wright pulling from Marvel, dude?
Well, when did this shit happen?
Brian, where the hell have you been, man? You're a comic head, man.
Yeah.
No, this is what, like
Hey,
last week, 2 weeks ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago, Edgar Wright pulled off Ant-Man. He left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, yeah, you're talking about yes. Okay, all right, all
You're-
right.
Comic. Oh, that Ant-Man. Oh, that
Yeah.
Edgar Wright. I'm sorry. I was with you.
When you said Edgar Wright pulling out of Marvel, I was trying to think of like, what do you? And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. You're talking, yeah, the director pulling off of Ant-Man. Fuck,
Yes.
it's just I guess the phrasing threw me for a minute. And I'm
Sorry,
like, oh,
sorry.
what the hell?
I'll never use the word pulling out again.
Honestly, I think his work is really fucking good. So to lose him is like, all right, you guys are still going to do Ant-Man, but because Ant-Man is not so recognizable as everybody else, I mean, there's already people kind of like, why the fuck are you doing Ant-Man? If Ultron isn't created by Ant-Man, which is the only realness that this guy has to his name, then, you know, how much are people going to go see this film, on top of the fact that now your director is gone, who's been working on this thing for like 8 years or some shit. Like, he's been involved in this thing for a long time, so it's like, why would you pull him? And then the new bitch you had does comedy movies, right? Like, what? I don't get what the fuck that's all about. That's stupid to me. Here's a guy who knows the genre, loves the fucking, you know, comic books, has been working on this shit for 8 years, and then I don't know what happened. I guess they didn't like his vision, or they didn't like anything that he wanted to change, possibly, but you know, you know, all the people that have come out and have said, you know, they've been on his side to be like, hey, you know, I support you and da-da-da-da. I think
Even Michael
that just
Douglas,
shows you what they think the film potentially might be without this guy.
right? Michael Douglas even announced that he was really upset that the fact that Edgar Wright was gone, and he's still in the movie. Right now, you have Peyton Reed as the director, and McKay helping him writing, the writer Adam McKay. So you're going to get that comedy element. We already kind of knew that. You got Paul Rudd as an actor. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm fine with that. You know, we've talked about, you know, them splitting the superhero movie genre into separate genres. You know, we have a horror director attached to Doctor Strange,
Yes.
which is great. I
Awesome.
said let's put a comedy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I said let's do a superhero comedy, and because I never read the actual series, but the Irredeemable Ant-Man was actually written by Robert Kirkman as well, and that I'm always remember just reading headlines, you know, on various comic book sites about how popular and how great and how funny that book was. So that when I heard that they were making an Ant-Man movie, I'm like, oh, good. Then they must be doing the Irredeemable Ant-Man. You know, that seemed like a no-brainer.
Are we thinking that Marvel didn't wanted more comedic and Wright wanted it a little serious, or vice versa?
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, that's true.
you know, and I brought this up a couple weeks ago. Kevin Smith said it best. You know, if you they're paying your bills, man. And Marvel, you know, a lot of people are like, well, if you don't do it the Marvel way, you got to get out. You don't agree, dude. They're paying your bills, and that's how it is. And right now, the Marvel way is working. So it's going to come to that point where if they're not taking care of their creators, that's one thing. But if they don't see a vision, but Marvel sees how they want it, and they've been successful, you kind of got to go with Marvel at this point. I mean, I do like what Edgar Wright has done in the past, but if you can't get on board, even though he's been with him for 8 years, there had to be something really serious to go on for
there
him
was
to pull
something that
something
was
away.
like,
Yeah.
how do you, after all this, and then being in that, like, if you've been working on a shit for 8 years, and then they finally announce, hey, there's going to be a film, and it's like, you're going to be our guy, and, you know, the press obviously is like, oh, this is going to be good, and then to be like, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah, it had to be something serious, and I'm sure it was it wasn't about money, but by any means, it had to be something really serious to the direction of the movie or whatever.
Right.
They're back on track. Let's see what happens. You know, Brian, you brought up a point. A lot of the peeps out there saying that, you know, why do an Ant-Man? Nobody knows an Ant-Man. We can say the same things for the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I got to tell you, I think that movie's going to be pretty damn close to Cat. Not.
Oh no, I don't think. I think.
No.
Ant-Man's
I know you
great.
not. No, I'm just saying in general that I think that those people that are saying, well, why do an Ant-Man movie, are probably saying, why do a Guardians of the Galaxy movie? I think that thing's going to it's going to do awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll set records,
Well, I mean,
but it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah, most of the motherfuckers out there, though, because like they're like, oh, who are these guys? And I'm like, okay, well, just to be, to tell them to, you know, shut up. The Guardians of the Galaxy is heavily connected with the Avengers.
Oh, big time.
Their main focus, Guardians, is fucking Thanos. So like, once you start to tell somebody that, then they're like, oh,
Right.
okay, I get it. I get it.
and
That's
even
why. It's like, yeah, we're introducing Thanos before he gets unleashed in like Avengers 3 and probably a small part maybe at the end credits of Avengers 2. So, I mean, you know, you need the Guardians in this.
I agree. And we've talked before, even if you don't know the Guardians, what is it? It's a galactic comedic space adventure. I
Right.
mean, it's a general sci-fi movie. You don't have to label it being superheroes. You can label it as a sci-fi movie.
And there you
Yeah,
go. There's
yeah.
another
Those fucking-
sci-fi breakup or another comic book breakup. Now we're doing a comic book sci-fi.
Right. Now
Bring it on.
you got the supernatural now with Doctor Strange. You got the sci-fi galactic atmosphere. You got your heavy hitters. And then-
Where's our comic book romantic comedy?
Mary Jane, Peter Parker. It's there.
Let's do a comic book drama. We're gonna do Ant-Man and Janet Van Dyne.
Oh,
But it's when Ant-Man was he was
Domestic abuse. When he
Yellow
was Yellow
Jacket.
Jacket.
He's slapping her around.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Yellow
terrible.
Jacket.
That's a great See, there's a chance for
A
Lifetime Channel to get onto the comic book market, do a Yellow Jacket, and watch
There
the
you go.
TV show.
I know
Like
my
Lois
name
and
is-
Clark.
I know they still call me Janet. Or they still call me the Wasp. The Janet Van Dyne story, only
Oh
on
my God,
Lifetime.
yeah, there you go. It'll be like a series like Lois and Clark.
Yeah,
I'd watch it, guy. I'd fucking watch it.
Definitely.
I would watch it. I'd buy the action figures.
That's too funny.
Yeah, for sure. All 21 in a glass case.
Are they ant size? Are they actual
Yeah, they are.
size?
Actual fucking ant size.
You get a little ant farm too with them, a little
Yeah.
small Avengers mansion.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, smart ass. Oh my God, too funny. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Guardians of the Galaxy is the newest one coming out for us, movie-wise, and I think that's going to be. I'm stoked for it. They put out some new character posters.
Yeah.
We saw again.
Zoe Saldana. So beautiful.
Yeah, Rocket,
It's
and
hot as shit, man. And
deadly as shit too.
Columbiana, have you seen that film?
What is it?
What is it, Brian? Hello?
What movie are you talking about, bud?
Columbiana?
No.
Okay, lost
Oh
you guys
wait,
for a
I did
second
see.
there.
I saw the trailers there. Yes,
That
I
came
did
out a
see
couple
it.
years ago, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, man. She's good in that. She can whoop some fucking ass, and I think she's gonna do a great job. Besides the fact that, like you said, she's a fucking hot bitch.
Now,
Yeah.
did she get her start in Mission Impossible 3?
Huh.
Yeah, that's right. One of the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah, I believe it was Mission Impossible 3.
Huh.
She was Tom Cruise's contact. She was a thief, but then they obviously fell in love, and she was tied with the major villain.
Okay.
So I remember.
Wasn't it Philip Seymour Hoffman was the villain in the third one, or was that the second one? I forget.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was the third.
And I
Maybe
did
it was.
like,
Maybe it was the second one, and then the third one. Yeah, he passed away too. Yeah, he was in the last one. He was
Yeah.
the major villain in the last one.
No. You're thinking Ghost Protocol was the last one. He was not in the last. He was in the second to last one.
Okay.
But anyways, I always like Zoe Saldana in Look Who's Coming as well with Bernie Mac and
Oh, yeah, okay.
the late great Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher. She's
Oh,
good in
nice.
that,
Okay,
too.
very nice.
Huh? Talking about romantic
Oh
comedies, huh?
shit, that's knowledge.
Some random shit.
Welcome here, Norm and Cliff from Cheers.
Ask me to name all 92 Star Wars vintage action.
We don't
figures.
have 3
Ask
hours.
me.
No, we will not. Can you do it?
Yeah, of course I can.
We wouldn't know if you were wrong
Yeah,
anyway.
do it in under a minute.
Yeah, right.
We wouldn't know if you
No, we're
were.
not gonna do that now.
We wouldn't know if you were wrong anyway.
Save it for the sip and sketch.
Yes, and which we'll talk about soon. You want to get into some toy news, sir?
Cool. So besides the
So I see that you bought this Star Wars set
motherfucking
here.
Star Wars sets, let's see what other news do we have. We have some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle news. Playmates will be selling an exclusive figure to San Diego Comic-Con, available at the Nickelodeon booth. It's unrevealed as of yet. We also have gotten some images online of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles LARP, live-action role-play figures. So that's cute for the fans and super nerds out there. DC Universe Classics San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Doomsday. The review and pics are up at Toy News International. So if you want, go over there and check those pics out. Looks pretty badass. G.I. Joe subscription service reveals a few more characters on their website. Muskrat, Psych Out, and the Night Creeper Leader. Here's some other cool associative news with Kenner and Star Wars. All right, so there's a company out there called Reaction, and they took these old, unused Kenner prototype molds from Alien figures that were like designed back in like 1979. They were going to make Alien figures from the movie Alien, and they were going to do them 3 3/4 inches tall. They never made them, and so these prototypes have been sitting around unused for years. And then this toy company came along, this independent toy company came along and said, we want to take these molds, make figures of them. There's a huge fan demand out there. So they got their grubby little paws on the molds. They came out with the Alien figures, and they have since started making other movie property figures as well. Most recently, they have revealed they're going to be doing Firefly figures from the short-lived Joss Whedon series, which everybody freaking loves, and I still have yet to watch. Other figures that they've done by this company, Reaction, Back to the Future, Rocketeer, DW, you're going to love this one. They've done a figure of The Crow. I mean, Pulp Fiction, Goonies, like so random but very cool. And they're all done in the very retro late 70s, early 80s, like Star Wars style. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy Legos have been hitting stores. Toys R Us Toys R Us primarily. Marvel Legends gets a little news. We're going to get a Walgreens exclusive Agent Venom figure. We saw Agent Venom first revealed, 6-inch tall figure. We saw him at San Diego Comic-Con last year, but he never actually materialized. He never saw the light of day in stores, and we never actually got news as to what happened with the figure.
Yeah, you put that article up last night, correct?
Yeah, so that's some cool news there. It's good to be seeing the figures that we've seen them actually design to actually get released now as well. Marvel Select Unmasked 7-inch figure from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to be an exclusive to Disney stores everywhere. And also, Star Wars vintage prices are on the rise. You know, I think with the little bit of news and the little bit of pics leaking out onto the interweb there, you know, it's starting to drive up the fan base and the fan demand, the collector demand for old vintage stuff. So, man, a figure that 5 years ago, 2 years ago cost $50 is now $100 online.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I have a tweet here. Well, Sean Murphy seems to be on. What was the Transformer that was a train? I need to find one.
Astro Train. Good call. Good
Nice
call,
call.
Comic Head.
Yeah, I got fucking Transformers, bitch. You know me. Just,
Are you threatening me right now?
oh shit,
Yeah, right.
Transformers talk battles.
It's a battle. Finish him. What was the name again?
Astro Train.
What series was that? A G1?
Do you want to take Comic Head? Why don't you field this one, brother?
No, Des, go ahead, man. This is your toy section, man. This is your time. This is your time.
Yeah, it came out 1985 action figure. He was a triple changer, transformed from robot to train to space shuttle.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Now G1?
Yes, Generation 1.
Cost?
You can get him for like, I don't know, fucking $15 online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's now a popular one, but
No, he's actually very popular, but there's so many. They made so many of
them.
them, and you should be able to get one for a good price.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Comic Head. What do you got on your pull list this week, sir?
What did I was looking at? Of course, Walking Dead. I
Nice.
think Walking Dead was coming out. What else was coming out? Fuck, let me take a look.
Now I know that you dropped All New X-Men a while back.
Yeah,
right
we were
after-
talking about that earlier. I dropped Uncanny X-Men. After the Battle of the Atom, I stopped. I mean, every once in a while, I do have to fucking trim in areas that, I just... If the comic's not good, I'm going to stop buying it thinking, oh, it'll get better. Okay, just one more. Oh, okay, just one more. Oh, okay, just one more. And so I was just like, well, it wasn't really saying very much. I was thinking of picking up Wolverine, 3 Months to Die.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure whether another Future's End was coming out today. I mean, they've been coming out pretty quickly.
What, the Future's End?
Yeah, I'm
Every
not sure
week.
if one came.
Every week. One came out this week.
Yeah,
number
fuck yeah.
6, I believe.
That's gonna be something else I pick up. But
How do you liking it? How do you liking that so far?
You know, I like it. It's I'm waiting for something to happen with what's his fucking name? The Mr. Oh man, the guy with the balls.
Mr. Balls.
That a lot of the guys have balls.
Anyways, I'm waiting for Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic?
Terrific or whatever his name.
Oh, Mr. Terrific?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, the dude from the JSA. Yeah.
Yes.
Waiting for something big to happen. It's almost like they keep alluding to something. It's just kind of like, oh, wait for it. Oh, he's going to say this. Nope, there's something behind this. Oh, no, there's something behind. Oh, no. And it just keeps waiting and waiting and waiting.
Makes you buy the next book.
Yeah, I know. That's what Brightest Day did to me, and I was fucking pissed by the end of that shit.
Oh, it was awful. Brightest Day. Ugh, definitely not.
Yeah, so I think I was going to be I picked up the first 4. I think I'm in it, so I'll probably pick up that. But that's short. What do you bitches end up picking up or going to pick up?
What do you got this week?
I think the only book that comes out for me is Transformers Robots in Disguise number 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're liking
What's
that.
going on in that fucking shit, man? Do bitches die in that comic?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. All the time. And the way they do it too. Like, all right, so there's the 2 books. Actually, there's 3 books right now. One of them's a miniseries. But anyways, man, there's 2 main motherfucking books. Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. That's my shit. Like, that is my fucking like Shangri-La. That's And then Robots in Disguise, is the other good title. I was really enjoying it, and then they just got done this big crossover, so now like the team roster has been kind of like mixed up in both the books, and now they're sort of in different scenarios. But yeah, Robots in Disguise is good, but if you want a good book, man, like I just gush fucking love and blood and chicken balls and chicken sweat about this fucking book. Transformers More Than Meets the Eye, man. Comic Head, go and read it. Like, go pick up a trade paperback. It's so good, man. It's like, it's incredible, man. The writing is so good. Like every character has their own distinct personality.
We want to see a Comic Head on Transformers book.
There you go, man.
Look, I might have to pick that up. That sounds like it, because I've been looking for something to get into while I cut other bullshit. But something like that, especially that I was so down with Transformers back in the day but I never picked up the comics. So. Right.
Yeah, and if I was to suggest like one particular storyline, man, I'd say check out issues like 14 through 16. And it's good. Like, there's some really good deaths on that during that little arc there, and nice. Really good stuff, man. So check it out.
Nice. This week's a real light week for me. Justice League United #2. I liked #1. It was pretty good. They're reforming the team, obviously. Enjoyed it. We get to see Skinny Lobo in this issue.
Oh yeah, the new 52 Lobo.
The new 52 Lobo. Not so down with that. Frack. But I do enjoy. It was good. Taking out Hawkman. I never thought Hawkman to be a wuss, but yeah, he got his ass beat.
Got it handed to him.
And then we have Images Starlight #4. I'm really enjoying this book. Just a fun read. Once again, kind of like the Black Science, kind of Johnny Quest feel to it. Artwork is really great. It's just a fun read about an old man went to an alternate reality or different planet, and when he saved the planet, and now they're in trouble again after years and years and years, and he's like in his 80s, and they need him back to take care of some trouble, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I read your first issue here, like I don't know, when it first came out. It was good. I liked it.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
And then of course all new X-Men 28, and Forever Evil 6. So that's pretty much it on my pull list for this week. As far as new comics too, don't forget this October Deathlock is making a scene. With his own series again, kind of more of that.
Yeah, I see how he fucking looks like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they needed to do that, so they're like, oh, okay, accept him now because he looks like this comic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crap.
Which I will say, in a twisted way, that makes me accept it a little bit more, though.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those ploys that you're just like, all right, well, if he's got a comic and he looks like that, then I guess this fucking bitch is okay.
Exactly. Fine, I'll accept
it.
Okay, fine. Make a 6-inch action figure of him. I'll buy it.
Yeah, right. I have Edmondson and Perkins and Troy are the creative team on this. Now I have the cover of the book right here, Deathlock 1. It does look like the character from the TV show, but obviously we still see the Full Metal arm, a little bit, just his face. Other than that, it looks like their traditional Deathlock. He makes his first appearance in today's Original Sins #1. Huh. So they're tying everything in. Original Sins, I do the Original Sin. I don't do Original Sins. There's 2 different, they're like tie-ins. Mm-hmm. And I'm enjoying that, Who Killed the Watcher, Who Done It kind of theme going on there.
So you're picking up all the fucking tie-ins too?
No, just the ones that I've already subscribed to, like Avengers tie. Like if it's Avengers, New Avengers, or Mighty Avengers, I'll pick those up.
Oh yeah, like if you already buy the fucking book, you're
I can't get in all the tie-ins. It's like my regular pull list is $50 a week, and I'm like, I can't keep doing that. And I got to trim mine down. I'm dropping 2 of the Green Lantern titles, which makes me sad, but they're just not holding weight. They're not holding weight like they used to. So check that out in October. Also, we got a limited series coming out. Marvel's 100th anniversary Spider-Man #1
Oh yeah, with
comes out.
Techno Venom Kingpin.
Yes, and it's not the future that we think it is. It's not 2099 because Miguel's going to get his own book. It's 2061. What an odd number.
Yeah, but it's still Petey Parker.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is still Peter Parker. Yes.
I was looking at some of the promotional images. They give you
with the Venom and Kingpin and Venom.
Yeah, but they give you a preview like the first 3 or 4 pages, and it's just so funny because Peter Parker still looks the same damn age. But
they all do. We've already talked about
the thing.
this,
I mean,
except for Doc Strange.
In 50 years, they're
He's
gonna
the exact fucking same looking bitch. Are they all like Wolverine? What the fuck?
Yeah, but they're gonna be drawn, motherfucking Peter Parker like he's still 28 years old, like he's 25 years old.
There's a.
Yeah, he's still right fresh out of high school.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Gee, I hope Mary Jane says yes when I ask her out tonight.
Jesus. That brings up a little DYK that we talked about this last week, and Brian, we'll get you to interject on this too because this is about Doctor Strange and casting. In the comics, we talked about this. Your character seems to stay at 29 to 31. Oh, I mean, they were 16-year-olds. They stop at 29. Like Cyclops will always be 29, 30 years old. He'll never get any older. Doc Strange, he's actually older than he appears, but he's still in his 40s and 50s, but he's even older than that. So it's weird how they take one character and make him older than the rest. Like Tony Stark, you can look at him; he's probably in his mid-30s, not 29. But Doc Strange and
Reed Richards
and possibly Reed Richards are older. Where everybody else
a little older.
Xavier's a little. We can't tell, can we? He's got no hair, so how we can tell if he's older? But Doc Strange is old. And older than 80 at this point, and from what I was reading up on. But he has a way of making himself look younger, either through it's not the Eye of Agamotto,
magical bitch, guys. Magical powers are serious. That's the other thing that I don't know.
I hate to disillusion you guys. It's just Botox. That's all.
Magic Botox.
He is a doctor. I mean,
he's a plastic surgeon. What were you gonna say, Brian?
Yeah. Doc Strange is a serious fucking dude. So like anyone who hasn't read, I haven't read a ton with Strange in the comics that I've come across, but like I know how powerful this guy is. That like, if he decided to just go against everyone and try to run things, he would be definitely a fucking villain that like, that one villain, those villains that just need a whole team to attack them as opposed to like a one-on-one.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that would need quite a few people to handle him.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why he's part of the Illuminati. The question is now we have Doc Strange going into Phase 3, possibly Phase 4 instead of Phase 3. The big question is, what do you do with Robert Downey? Now, the Iron Man character, Tony Stark character, is the main character throughout all these movies. He's tied them all in. Captain America, Hulk, obviously Avengers, his own movie. Is having Doctor Strange, who is a heavy hitter, is he there to be replacing Tony Stark? Rumors have it, not confirmed, that Avengers 2 will be the last Robert Downey movie. What even seals that deal even more is that Don Cheadle is now announced as an Avengers 2. So, and confirmed. So does that mean that the Iron Patriot will be the Iron Man portion of this movie?
Hey, you know what? Let's just have Don Cheadle, let's have James Rhodes take over Iron Man. I mean, they happened in the comic books.
Oh, he was,
I think for if they have to lose Downey for whatever reason, I mean they'll eventually they'll be fine. But it just sucks because like you could do that with any character, but Robert Downey Jr. is so good as Iron Man. His charisma. Anytime it doesn't matter what the fuck his dialogue is. It doesn't matter what he says. He's going to be the most interesting person on the screen. So just to lose him,
that gravitas.
If Iron Man was fucking anybody else, you would be like, oh yeah, if they kill him off, that's fine. But like to say, it's just like Hugh Jackman. People are like, oh, if they get rid of him, that's okay. And I'm like, he's a good Wolverine. And if they lose him and they keep Wolverine in their universe, that'll be fine. But Downey is so good at Iron Man that people will be like, man, I don't know.
I agree.
Like everything that he does, everything he does just oozes Tony Stark.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
who the fuck knew Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. played him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody. The Invincible Iron Man was a fucking nobody, man. Nobody liked that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we talked about it on the pod before. Like nobody gave a shit about Iron Man.
Right. And Stan Lee even said he wanted to make that character somebody that people didn't like.
Huh.
And that was one of the themes. He's cocky. Obviously, he had alcoholism, problems drinking. Perfect character for Downey to deal with. I mean, honestly, right? Jesus.
Seriously.
But
and he nailed it.
Not even the actor, but the character himself. He's the lead. He is the glue that put this whole universe together.
Right. Or has it shifted now that Captain America 2 is so popular?
I don't think it's gonna be Cap. I think it's gonna be Doc. I think Doc Strange. I mean, we know he's formed his own teams in the past. We know that
teams of like losers that nobody's fucking caring about.
True.
Yeah, nobody cares about anybody.
But remember, we got Defenders at the end of Netflix.
I know.
So could he be the new glue? Could he be the new main character that
it's
takes
all
over
in your
Robert
casting,
Downey?
man. It's all in your motherfucking
Who would you cast?
Who
would you cast, Brian?
One of the last rumors was
Jared.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh yeah, Cumberbatch. And Tom Hardy.
And
Tom Hardy.
I don't agree with Tom Hardy.
I don't like Tom Hardy either. I like Benedict though, man. I like him. I think he'd be all right.
I do like the guy, but I don't know. For some reason, I think there's a better choice out there.
Minus age, I still want Liam.
You want Liam Neeson?
Yeah, I mean, but he's too old. I mean, no offense, Liam, if you're listening, but if you want to carry the franchise, you got to have somebody within what comic books do, 29 to 30, to carry that franchise for a while.
Yeah, but Liam Neeson, I mean, he's got like in the last few years, he's definitely. I mean, here's an actor who's had a huge success for 20 plus years.
He's loving his action films.
And even in the last like 7 or 8 years, he's like made this huge comeback with all of his action movies.
Batman.
He's gotten a lot of good shit. They changed the way his fighting was in his films, and it made it so believable that a guy like him could pull that off. And
well, he used to be a boxer, like I remember reading an article about him years ago, and like when he was in Scotland, like he was like a professional boxer.
No shit, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So there you go.
But I like that. I don't know about Jared if I'm not in.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him. I know Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's got the look.
He's got the look, but unfortunately, I'm Depped out.
Well, that's it. Johnny Depp just does Johnny Depp every time.
Yeah, and it's his crap.
Yeah, he can't be Captain Sparrow
Captain Jack Sparrow wearing a cloak.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what it would kind of be, man.
That's what would happen. Exactly.
The weirdness, yeah.
You imagine if Tim Burton directed Doctor Strange?
No, I don't even want to think about it. I'm over Tim Burton. I'm over Johnny Depp.
Oh, so am I. It would just be weird.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. You got the horror director on board from Sinister.
Yep.
Yeah. The more I think about it, you brought up a good point, Joe, about the fact that like we're getting Marvel movies now that seem to be fitting in like their own type of genre. So now that I think about it, Ant-Man could still be really fucking good. I just need to treat it more like a comedy film than trying to think that it's going to be like an Avengers or something that's like super action-packed as opposed to like, it fitting in a different genre. Because I fucking think Doctor Strange with the horror elements added to it, it's going to make it fucking amazing.
Exactly.
I agree. There's so many aspects you can do with that character, and now making it dark like that is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And you're going to get your horror culture fans to them who don't even really know Doc Strange. And I think that's key, too. They're branching out. They're doing it right by taking each of these genres, sci-fi, action, obviously fantasy, now horror, comedy. And like you said, the last thing is romantic comedy is the last thing that they haven't. Literally, I think, drama, and romantic comedy. The only two that, well, could you put Cap 1 as in drama? It was a period piece.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, what are we calling a drama? Because obviously there are dramatic elements in all of these movies.
Correct.
But it's still they're still action adventure movies.
Like Nolan's Batman, you could say. I mean, there's drama that happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time, big time.
Yep.
But yep. I'd put Cap 2 as a drama.
Yeah, maybe.
Documentary.
I say Cap. I put Cap 2 more as like political thriller action movie. Like Cap 2.
1. No, Cap 1.
Cap 1.
I meant Cap 1.
I don't know. Still just action movie.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, like what will we even do is like make some really dry, boring Bridges of Madison County drama superhero movie. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Driving Miss Daisy?
And I would still go out and fucking watch it and buy the Marvel Legends 6-inch figures.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'd go there to the theaters for sure. Anything Marvel does now, to be honest, comic book movies have got me because like I went to go see Amazing Spider-Man because I knew, I want to see Spider-Man do Spider-Man shit. So I mean, the movie wasn't the greatest, but I was still like entertained, right? When the action sequences to have Spider-Man, like, because that was some of the best web slinging I think I've seen in all the Spider-Mans. The angles and shit that they have him flying and shit still entertained me. So.
That's cool.
Sweet. I still haven't seen it in the theater. I'll wait now. I mean, and that's one of the only movies since Iron Man that I haven't been to a theater for, except for Thor 2. I didn't go see Thor 2 either.
Well,
you saw the first Thor, not the second Thor in the theater?
Yeah.
I thought the first Thor was shit.
Well, it was shit. That's why I didn't go see.
It was not shit, but the second one was definitely better. Now, Comic Head, you bring up a good point, or an interesting point in the sense that you say, comic book movies kind of got you by the balls right now, where I, conversely, I'm actually to the point where I'm much more pick and choose with the comic book movies that I go and see, because a lot of times when I see a trailer come out, I watch it and then I'm like, all right, I've seen this before. Like, why should I go to the theater and see it again? Like I've seen this incarnation before in a previous comic book movie. Why should I race
Days of Future Past? You haven't seen that?
I haven't seen that one. I didn't see Amazing Spider-Man #1 or Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the theaters.
Why not Days of Future Past? Just timing, or just because you didn't want to?
It was both, like the timing, and then I just thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Honestly, like I'm kind of over the X-Men movies. Like I don't care about them.
Well, you're
anymore.
not the only ones. Look at the domestic money in domestic that it made. It was nothing.
Right.
International blew it out of the water.
Yeah, that's the big thing for them right now.
Yeah, but what else? Like I never bothered seeing either Captain America movie in theater. I didn't see Captain America.
What?
I didn't see. I know, unbelievable. I didn't see the first Captain America in theaters. I mean, there are a number of comic book movies that I never got to the theater to see.
So what the fuck? You don't watch comic book movies, then?
I watched the shit out of them.
How did you not see at least Cap? I can understand when you were going through the films. I was like,
saw
okay,
Cap, though.
Selectively, I think he is choosing some of these movies that could be that weren't the best that he's not watching. But you're like naming all the fucking movies besides the Avengers that you haven't seen.
No, he has seen them. Don't get me wrong.
I have since seen Captain America. I just never went to the theater to see it.
Okay. Well,
I'm a very busy guy. My toy collection isn't going to stare at itself, buddy.
I go. I mean, I
Right.
didn't go to Spider-Man just because, whatever. I'll watch that one. I mean, don't get me wrong. Him doing Spider-Man shit. I mean, in the trailer, I saw the best web slinging. It was in the trailer.
Right.
That's it for me.
Well, I guess honestly, when it boils down, I guess I'm just not much of a movie goer.
Now,
really anymore.
Are you going to tell me that you're not going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy?
I'm going to see Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my
mother.
motherfucking team, and it comes out on my birthday, August 1st.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yes, sir.
So everybody, the real reason is Joe is broke. So we are going to start a Kickstarter campaign.
I love it.
Go over to Kickstarter.com, type in Joe NUB's Movie Fund, and donate some money so Joe NUB can go see these future.
That's a great fucking idea.
That's a great idea, actually. I'm gonna
for $1,000 reward, if you donate, Joe NUB will come to your house, steal your toy collection, and then take you to the
seeds in your garden.
to offer.
And then
let's grow some shit for you. I'll make the meanest tomatoes for you, bitches.
Exactly.
And then I'll take you to the movies.
Now, Comic Head, how much can I expect you to pledge just today? Let me tell you what.
Guaranteed at least $3. I
love
mean, that's to buy your seed.
Well, Canadian money is better than ours right now, so that'll work.
We should do a fucking like a market drive. Like what do they do on like the public access fucking NPR and shit like that? The drives.
A donation drive.
Donation drive. Yeah, let's do one of those.
Send us to the movies.
So we can get what's his name there that used to do them all the time. What was his name?
I don't know.
The comedian.
Like Dean Martin?
No, crap, I can't remember. He used to do the leukemia drive and.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis. We'll get Jerry Lewis to run your donation drive.
All right.
He might do it. What's he doing now?
Drooling.
Yeah, right.
He's not in good shape right now.
Walking the fine line.
Yeah, I think he's in a wheelchair. He could be Professor X. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be the next one. I'm definitely going to go see that one on the big screen.
That one I'll see.
We'll go opening night.
Hell yeah.
We'll hold hands, share popcorn.
All right,
cool. It's a little juju beads. You want to come too,
some
Brian?
juju bees?
Oh, yeah, you can take me. Paid for my fucking flight down there, no problem.
That's part of what the Kickstarter campaign.
That's part of the Kickstarter.
Send Comic Head to the States to watch a movie with us.
Yes,
I'll send Comic Head down to fucking.
That'll be the $2,000 reward. Not only can you go with Comic Head and Joe NUB, but you get plane ticket. You get to meet Comic Head. He'll autograph some stuff for you.
That's cool.
He'll come to your house, steal your shit. Yeah, I try to go to all of them. Like, I didn't see Godzilla. It just is what it is. I mean, I'm a
movie guy. Maybe that's my big.
No, I'm a movie guy too.
Collection type of
movie tickets. You like collecting movie tickets?
That I have, because like I hit the theaters often for shit. Like, I just saw Edge of Tomorrow.
How was that?
Okay. Edge of Tomorrow is good, man. It's surprisingly good. I didn't think it was going to be a very good movie. I was watching it strictly because I was like, the trailers make it seem okay. I think I'm going to get a little bit of like the District 9 / Elysium type of fucking feel to it with these mechanical suits and shit like that. The CG will probably be good enough for me to enjoy some of the action, and it was funny. I mean, Cruise was playing a character he doesn't normally play for the first half of the movie, which is a guy that's like ill-equipped at this job, right? Like, not spoiling it, but he's a guy that gets into it and he doesn't know it. He's never been in one of those suits. And so when he goes out, he's like a fish out of water, right? And he's kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here? And then, shit happens and he starts to get better at it, and it's a good movie.
You could almost say Tom Cruise is like Johnny Depp. Tom Cruise plays Tom Cruise.
Right.
And Johnny Depp plays Johnny Depp,
Yeah, but Johnny Depp's character is he's so eccentric and fucking out there. Tom Cruise is always kind of like, if he's going to do these action movies, he can play the same character, but it's not as
obnoxious almost?
Obnoxious as like seeing multiple Johnny Depps all in a row of the same type of weird guy that he plays.
Right. No, I totally agree with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, as we wind this up, we do our picks of the week, as you know, Brian. You want to start us off with a pick of the week?
The movie you just saw.
What's my pick of the week? What did I just see?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay, skip my shit because I
saw something recently. You just saw Edge of Tomorrow. So what? What's your pick of the week?
My pick.
Don't pick that. That's an expensive pick, dude.
Well, you know what? Sometimes picks are expensive. My pick this week. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't say all 20.
Can you pick 3 of the characters out of that from this vintage?
Just pick one.
Okay.
You want a good pick? Go pick yourself up a good, nice condition, 100% complete, mint condition, Luke Skywalker action figure from 1978.
How would he not be complete?
If the lightsaber is gone.
Does that happen a lot? I mean, it's stuck in his arm.
Oh, you don't have the lightsaber with that shit?
Oh yeah, he does.
What are you, fucking nuts? Get the fuck out of here. Of course
I don't know. You could have you were blindsided by your fucking hard dick about buying 21 guys. The next thing you know, you didn't look specifically at him, and we're just like, okay, fuck it. I know, want. Right?
Is it missing?
Well, my life is worthless now. No, man, he's 100% complete. Got the motherfucking lightsaber.
Is it more that it's not missing but broken? Because that's pretty hard to take out of his arm.
Yeah. No, you can take it out. It is removable, but yeah, a lot of times that thin plastic tip on the end breaks off. So yeah, this thing is motherfucking great condition. And man, recently what I've been seeing them go for online, shit, man, like $20 to $60.
Oh wow.
I know, it's fucking nuts. So go get yourself some Star Wars vintage action figures. They're great.
Okay. My pick is going to be Moon Knight. It did not come out this week, but number 4 came out last week. I'm really digging this book.
Oh, yeah?
I'm really, really digging this book.
You love the character. When are we going to see a Moon Knight, small screen or big screen?
I bet you that would be a Netflix.
Well, that's it. The
Marvel Knight series.
He's going to cameo his face up soon, trust.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think he's going to be in that Netflix. He's going to be that ground level, what we talked about almost 2 years ago, about putting Marvel Knights somewhere, making that ground level heroes, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Moon Knight. Warren Ellis is doing a great job. Declan Shavley is doing the art tours. Once again, I'm loving this. Mark Spector is still delusional, more so than before. He's like, it's really cool about this writing, and I mentioned a little bit last week, is you don't know if this shit's happening in his head or if this is really, really happening with him.
Right.
He's talking to the Khonshu is his god, and now he's got like a skeleton of Khonshu sitting there in front of him talking to him. Now and the way the writing is, you can't tell if it's, if he's all the shit's going on his head. We don't get the word balloons or the the internal dialogue like you like.
Right.
We seem to miss that, but that kind of works here because you're not sure, because it's missing. You don't know what's going on.
Right.
So I'm really finding it intriguing. It's a fun read. I mean, it's even funnier that now he's in a suit. He's always walking around in a white suit, not even just his Moon Knight.
And he still
uniform.
has the mask on.
He still has the mask on. Now, I don't know if that's for him personally or what.
Makes it like he's the butler at some weird sex party at an abandoned castle in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's really weird. He's going up against big surprise, some zombies, some zombie-esque type characters, which seem to be all the rage nowadays. But I'm enjoying the book. It's a fun read. Get it on Comixology. You can probably still pick up 1, 2, and 3s at your local shops. I know 1 was sold out really quick, but I'm sure you can get reprints. If not, like I said, it's on Comixology. He's one of those B-rated characters that just, throughout the years, just not taken as seriously as he should. He's not been that successful. He's always done better, as a supporting character in another book. But I think Warren Ellis has knocked it out of the park with this one. I think this one's going to be fun. I'd like to see this one keep going and going and going. Brian, we're putting you back on the spot, my friend. What is your fan pick of the week?
Fan pick of the week. I saw this flick. I'm into foreign films. That's my shit. One of the things that always intrigues me is because they're so motherfucking different. And so there's a film called Big Bad Wolves.
Okay.
It's 2013. It's actually, the first I heard of it is because Quentin Tarantino was talking a ton about how fucking dope this film was, and he thought it was the best film of the year. And, anything that bitch is liking, I gotta fucking check out. And so I checked it out, and it's really fucking cool. Essentially, it's about, a cop and a father hunting a serial murdering rapist, and then instead of going the cop route, they need to do some home justice type of shit to him. So it's pretty violent too. A lot of the torturing scenes are pretty fucking gruesome. So if you're into that type of shit, yeah, definitely check out Big Bad Wolves, because it's one of those weird, hammer smashing the toes, ripping out fingernails, and then there's twists, right? Can't have a movie like, foreign films are big with their twists, and like the direction of the movie is going one way and you're following it, and next thing you know they slap you in the face with a complete different plot twist that you're like, holy shit.
Nice.
That was unfair.
Now, what's the name of that again, Brian?
It's called Big Bad Wolves.
Big Bad Wolves. Check that out. And before we go, I finally saw RoboCop.
Oh, yeah? What'd you think?
I watched it last night.
What'd you think?
5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I
fucking was
expected.
that movie ever trash.
Yeah.
I got it. The biggest thing with me, I understand it was more of the love story and the humanity part of it, not like we saw originally.
Boring.
My biggest thing for watching the movie, I got it on the PSN network. Explaining the suit, because that seemed to be the whole uproar. Everybody's like, oh, it's not the new suit, it's the old suit. Or what they wanted, the old suit, and you got the new suit. I wanted to see the explanation for that. That was the only reason why I rented it for $3.99, just to see how they were going to implement the old suit with the new suit. Now back to the old suit. It was okay. It was, entertainment-wise, I'll give it an 8, but as RoboCop, it's a 5. It's just,
I have no idea why they want to remake really good movies.
Man.
yeah, why would they? You know what? That's
just knowing that they could be real shit. Nowadays there have been a ton of reboots to really good films that you're just like, why?
Yeah.
You have nothing else, and there's no original scripts coming by you. You're just like, listen, let's just play it safe and remake something, and who gives a shit that people are going to be like, you guys are fucking assholes for ruining a very good movie?
Well, look, that's how Tim Burton got his career. He's never come up with an original movie. He's taken scripts or books from other areas to do them.
What about Pee-wee's Big Adventure? That was a great Nightmare Before Christmas.
That wasn't an original. That's not a Tim Burton original. That's coming from another story. So is Frankenweenie. So is James and the Giant Peach. Obviously Batman. Also what's funny is that in Detroit they're erecting a RoboCop statue like Sylvester Stallone in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I'm like,
with the Rock.
really? You got enough?
Well, I guess they need to have someone like that, and so it would scare off some of the shit that's going on.
Yeah,
man.
right. They got
real.
more problems to deal with than spending money on buying a giant,
What
erecting a
about-
giant statue.
Yeah, let the people who are causing us some problems to fucking destroy the RoboCop, and then we'll see how that does to the morale. Like, here's RoboCop. Oh fuck! The very next day, his head was
gone.
He was decapitated. Yeah, somebody stole that shit. A la Bart Simpson.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was just thinking too when you said
God.
that, man. What about Big Fish by director Tim Burton? That was a great fucking movie. That was an original?
That's not his original. That's a screenplay.
How do you know?
It's a screenplay. It's a
He's
book.
just sticky with it. Doesn't matter what you say.
Exactly.
Google it.
If you don't
Google
have
it.
the fucking, if
Google
you don't
it.
have a
Google
web page up with that, he's just gonna, no,
Exactly.
no,
He's just gonna plow ahead with this shit.
Tim Burton's not even original. He's a clone. And
That's
I
right.
know. I Googled that shit.
He's gonna refuse to
Brian,
lose.
before we go, you did bring up a quick point, and then we'll wrap it up. These lack of originality in bringing in these movies. The biggest problem, the biggest movie for me that I don't ever want to see touched that's in the works is The Crow, the original remake of the original
But
Crow.
it's been touched plenty of times.
No, it's different characters, and it's a sequel. It's not a reboot. There's never been a reboot of the original. They've all been sequels.
Huh.
How do you feel about that, Brian? Is that one of those movies that you just don't want to touch?
Yeah, I actually really like The Crow. I mean, it sucks that Lee was dead before his time, because I think he would have been a cool character to have as like the side character in movies like, I don't know, maybe like Fast and the Furious and shit like that, where, you know, he doesn't need to be the lead, but because he can whoop some ass and he's fucking Bruce Lee's son, it would have been cool. Plus that movie was really dark and I liked it. And right. I mean, remaking it, fuck. I have to see a trailer, but the character was cool enough that I wouldn't mind possibly seeing it if it's good, right? If a remake is good, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I just feel that sometimes the mystique, like the sequels, there was one that went out to the theaters and then 2 straight to DVD. When you do, why are you wasting your money on a character and just bring it out straight to DVD? Why bother? I mean, and they were bad. I mean, atrocious. And it's not the same character. It's because of the Spirit and the Crow essence, reanimating these people through because of vengeance. But why would you bother putting on a movie just straight to DVD? I mean, can't make shit for money. You know, and why would you do that? You're just ruining the franchise. You're just like driving it into the ground, I would think.
You know, maybe it allows them to retain movie rights to the
Possibly.
character.
Okay,
like
that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
great. Okay, sure, whatever. You just ruined it.
looks like your webpage isn't up, huh? You can't argue, can you?
I'm not going to argue the fact that they're shit. Okay, Fantastic Four and Fox. That's what you're going to do. We're just going to make a movie, but it's going to suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, leave The Crow alone. Just leave it alone. I mean, it's one of those movies that should be like RoboCop. I mean, it was awesome for what it was in its time frame. Shouldn't have touched
Total Recall. Shouldn't have touched
Total Recall. That was shit too.
Didn't need to.
Yeah, there's rare. There are a bunch of movies that Schwarzenegger has done that's getting rebooted, and it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? He's had some shit ones, but don't do the ones that are.
I don't need you guys to reboot Kindergarten Cop.
I was just gonna say that it's not a tumor. I mean, we got the Terminator, but that's not a reboot. That's a sequel, whatever you want to call it.
Continuation.
Yeah, we've seen pictures of him. He looks older. He's got some of the gray hair going on.
Motherfucking Arnold Schwarzenegger is cast as the new Reed Richards.
What are you talking about, Sue?
I can't even come up with snappy enough fucking scientific banner to do it.
I'll be back. I'm going to stretch over here. But anyway, yeah, leave some of that stuff alone. We're gonna revisit this when we're all 95 years old, because it'll be Avengers, the remake. We're gonna see Avengers remake.
And it would make a lot of money too. That's the shit thing about it. They could do a remake of these.
True.
Avengers.
Oh, definitely.
And people would go and see it.
We'll have virtual glasses instead of 3D glasses. We'll have like headpieces.
No way, man! It's gonna be fully interactive, holographic environments.
And playing chips in our head. We're gonna be watching it in our head.
That would be crazy if the movie is just literally you have to turn around to watch other parts of the movie because like you're in the environment.
That's how it's going to be, man. I guarantee like
that would be
70 to 100 years, that's where we're going to be at.
Yeah, then fucking tickets would be like literally 1,000. No one would go to the movies. It'd be like $1,000 to get in there.
Yeah, but also the minimum wage will be $250 an hour. Of course, we're all going to be living on Saturn at that point, so it's really irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, Brian. Is there anything, maybe a teaser or something you could say about what's coming up besides the one show you talked about? Anything you want to tease our fans with?
For Comic Head, I know Forever Evil had wrapped up. I'm going to do a Forever Evil Comic Head. And then I was thinking of either doing continuing Futures End or Original Sin, or actually this Image comic called Nailbiter, which has been really fucking good.
Okay.
So that's on the side of just Comic Head's reviews. And then, like I said, the short, the Inside Comics, I'm doing that. And then, we'll see. There's a few ideas or stuff that I've called the Comic Book Men about. Late July, I'm going to be hooking up with Ming and Mike Zapsik for some shit. And so, hopefully that'll be enough that...
Cool. We'll be getting some of our... If you're that close to us, we'll be going, I should say.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll give you a shout when I'm down there and shit, man, because I want to come down there for a few days still, so if you guys don't come up, I'll fucking come down or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Awesome.
Yeah, no, shout-outs to Mike Mundo. He was awesome so that I could come over to his house, see his family, and talk a little bit about his career and shit like that. And then I saw him at Niagara Comic-Con, too, and that guy's a really cool dude, man. People who are talking to him, each person gets their time. It's not like he's trying to run through everybody. It's, he conversates with anyone who wants to talk to him. And the guy, like I said, there's one dude that came up and he had like 30 books, and
that's cool.
That is
pretty cool. Signed all of them and then talked. And the dude was old, too. That was the other thing, man. This guy must have been like 60-something. He had like a walker, and he had fucking a ton of Del Mundo books, and he was like, yeah. And then was talking to him about how he's seen his artwork get better and the shading and the blah, blah. And I was sitting there, and I was like, holy fuck, this guy is like a real fan.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So shout out to Mike, because he's been really cool over the last little bit, and I'm hoping to do some work with him on a couple other projects. So, I got to give that bitch a shout out. And I think, is it fucking today, or is it like, is today Muse's birthday, or is it fuck? I can't.
Ooh, is it today? Is Muse's birthday today? I think I don't. It's got to be today or tomorrow.
It's close. I know they're doing a Jay and Silent Bob Get Old for his birthday, and I don't know if that's. Is that today? Hold on, I gotta fucking check this out.
As we wrap it up, also too, guys, don't forget June 14th, this Saturday. Go to the New York Comic Fest, White Plains, New York. Cliff Galbraith, Rob Bruce, and Dan Greenfield production. Check it out. Awesome guests. And if you got money in your pocket and you want to come see us, well, of course you want to come see us. Come see us June 15th, the day after Father's Day. Take your dads out. If you're not a dad, pretend you're one and come out anyway and buy some toys for those pretend kids you have. I think that's what Joe does when he goes to the store. He just tells everybody he's got a bunch of kids.
I just have one kid.
I know you do. But June 15th and
he's 36 years old.
I'm not going to touch that.
I'm
not going to.
What are you going to touch?
Myself.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's
awesome. Well, happy early birthday to Jason Mewes. But June 15th, Albany Comic-Con, 205 Wolf Road, Holiday Inn. Come on down and see us. We got our table. We'll be podcasting. Come visit us. We got some FBI swag. And
Jason Moore will be there.
Jason Moore is going to be there.
Sean Murphy's not going to be there.
No, Sean. Yes, he is going to make He is making a quick stop to see us as he takes the train back down to Atlanta.
Shit. Very
he's
cool.
Back up this way.
Oh,
Very
shit.
Cool.
That is real cool.
Yeah. So, check that out. Awesome guest there. Go check out AlbanyComicBookShow.com for details. Tickets are only $10, guys. $10. It's amazing. And one last thing. Make sure to go over to Kickstarter.com and check out The Mighty Titan. Say that again?
Don't forget about Sip and Sketch.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Go on.
That's coming up at the rear. That's the anchor right there.
That's right. It's the anchor. Go over to Kickstarter.com. Type in The Mighty Titan. Mighty Titan number 5 by our good friend Joe Martino has been funded. It was funded in 48 hours, but the extended rewards are amazing. Some awesome limited artwork, prints, original sketches. This is Fanboys Inc. approved. Like I said in the past, this is the first Kickstarter that we have funded. We funded everyone. We've helped fund everyone, and we will be doing the same this time. Guy's amazing. There will be another announcement by Joe Martino with some other friends of ours soon as well, so stay in the loop with that. We'll be able to tell you here. Yes, as Joe mentioned, a busy week. Got a con on the 15th, and then our first big event.
This is the big one.
This is the big one. Sip and Sketch, June 18th at Gaffney's Restaurant in Saratoga on Caroline Street. We will, if you're familiar with the drink and draw events, this is similar. Just come and bring your pens, pads, papers. We'll bring the napkins for you. And just sketch and have a good time. It's sponsored by Larceny Bourbon, our official sponsor for this event. And artists of any type, even if you're not an artist. I do want to stress that too, because we have a couple fans messaging me going, I can't sketch. Yeah. I'm like, that's fine. Come and hang out with us, because not like any of the others drink and draws or our sip and sketch, we'll be podcasting. For the 2 hours, 6 to 9, you can draw. We'll have some themes. We're going to do a quick 5-minute sketches for warm-ups and have some themes and some characters and get you going. And it's a superhero themed. The second hour, keep sketching, keep drinking. From 7 to 8, we're going to have Mr. Mark McKenna will be on the podcast, Q&A podcast. So it'll be kind of like what you're listening to here, a little IncCast going on, but it's going to be live there at the show. Q&A with Mark McKenna, how you got into business, what's going on, you want to ask him anything. I think it's going to be a great time, and it's free of charge. And there's no cost to come in.
Yep. No cover.
That's dope. That's key right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 6 to 8 on Wednesday, June 18th. For the first 20 peeps, you get a special gift bag, FBI gift bag. There's going to be a special Mark McKenna comic signed by him, some T-shirts, some swag. And this is for you, Brian. We're getting another Marvel shipment.
Oh shit!
Jarvis is taking care. Jarvis.
All that Fantastic Four and X-Men point of sale shit they took
all
out.
That shit's coming to our house.
I was about to say, I'm like, yo, man, thanks for all those fucking Fantastic Four T-shirts. I never loved the thing so much in my life.
And what am I supposed to do with these 10 giant cardboard cutouts, life size of the Thing and the Fantastic Four? But we're getting another Marvel shipment from Jarvis.
Very cool.
And from what I hear, it's some Shield watches, some more. And from what we've seen of these watches, some of the high-end watches we still have here in the collection, they're pretty sweet.
Very cool.
And some shirts and some more of the Infinity Gauntlet bottle openers and stuff like that.
I use mine like every single fucking day. I love the
nice.
shit out of it.
So,
so anyway. He's got to do something while he's staring at his collection.
So other than that, so guys, we'll have some Marvel swag in here too for the first 20 peeps. So check it out, and you can check that out over Facebook.com/FanboysInc, and check down on the events. Click and RSVP us if you're living in the area, and if you have friends that are involved, like comics and want to draw, share it with them. I think we're going to have a great time. We got a lot of people going. And also that whole day, Jesus, we got so much going on. That whole day is New Comic Book Day, obviously. We'll be podcasting live at 12:30 at
the Comic Depot, just inside Saratoga Springs at 514 Broadway to meet all your fanboy needs.
That's right. And there's an all-day sale. A whole store-wide sale, 20% off everything. New comics, back comics, toys, collectibles, except for card and board games.
Very cool.
Shit, if you're in the area, you need to get down there. That sounds like a day. Fuck.
Hell yeah, man.
So, Brian, I'll be picking you up at the Albany Airport about 9 o'clock in the morning that day.
Shit, I wish, man. I need to get some kind of stand-in, I guess, for the wedding if I fucking head down.
Well, it's on Wednesday. It's after the wedding.
I got to figure out. Oh, it's on Wednesday.
Yeah, New Comic Book Day, Comic Head and New Comic Book Day. Come on, that's a no-brainer right there. We'll pick you up in Albany, 9 o'clock. But yeah, guys, check that out. We got a lot going on, a lot more stuff going on, and like Comic Head said, we got a lot of cool things coming up our way. We're doing some partnerships and just having a good time with some collaborative. Projects. It's going to be fun. This year is going to be amazing for everybody, I think. And you guys, the fans, are gonna win overall, I think. So, Brian, as always, you want to send, as we do, we send off. Do you want to send us off in a Comic Head fashion?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I'd like to thank this stupid bitch, Joe, and that other dumbass motherfucker, DW, for sending me up and putting me on to the show today. It was definitely a hype time, as always. You should be listening to these motherfuckers any chance you get, even if you sit in the bathroom and you're taking a shit. Speaking of which, I got to do that right now, so check me out when you can on the SIT Network, Facebook.com/ComicHead. Keep up to date with everybody in the motherfucking room that you're listening to, because we're all just like you. We're pushing forward to make our dreams come true, so geek help geek and help everybody, because that's what we should be doing on this planet. Oh, shit!
Later, nerds.
Peace.